podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Hello.
And welcome to Film Bastards.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome, one and all, to episode 427 of Film Bastards. My name's Ian Loring, and given that it's between Christmas and New Year, I've got some vodka, martini, and a cocktail shaker ready to go. I've got a vodka martini in hand. I'll probably be able to have a few during the course of the show, I reckon. Let's see how we go.
Good work.
I'm trying. As always, I am joined by
Becky Foster. Hello, everybody.
I'm Matt Foster. Hello, everybody.
those sexy motherfuckers in their village of inequity and iniquity, even, and sin,
Right.
where the bar staff are all attractive to both genders and comes flying all over the place.
Yep, that's pretty much an accurate portrait of our village life, isn't
That's
it?
fair, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. Hope everybody had a lovely Christmas. We're recording Thursday the 30th of December, so New Year's has not happened yet. I got spike vaxxed today, and let's see if that affects me during the recording. I don't think that will. I think the vodka martinis will. So, what have we got coming up this week? I actually don't know, because I haven't cleared exactly what everyone's seen. So, we will be adding to the discourse. Here's more opinions.
Because that's exactly what the fucking world needs right now.
Jesus, wet. Adam McKay's Don't Look Up. You know, this time
which literally could be a description of what you shouldn't do. Just don't look up Adam McKay's Don't Look Up.
Oh, dearie me. So, the film Twitter punching bag / holy saint of last week, The Matrix Resurrections. And then, do we have any other feature reviews?
We don't have a feature review of Being the Ricardos? It is, isn't it?
Being the Ricardos. I'll
Yeah.
talk about that later.
We didn't get to that. We're going to get to it, but we just ran out of time, didn't we? But we did. We had a choice, essentially. We were there going, right, do we do Being the Ricardos, or, because we had to go and drop Isabel off in York, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Or do we do The King's Man while we're in York quickly? Well, not quickly, but while we're in York there, and we can time it with those, can't we? And we thought, I think Ian's going to want us to do The King's Man more than Being the Ricardos. So we did that, didn't we?
We did.
Which I will very much agree with. So, Becky, you saw The King's Man.
I did.
despite having like no interest last week. God, I hope. I'm intrigued. We'll find out. Oh, we'll find out. But yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, we've I think we'll have a boatload of what we've been watching. We've got there's definitely some trailers. Don't think there's necessarily any movie news, but it's probably stuff we can talk about. Patreon.com/filmbastards will be restarting the Michael Mann shows next week. Also, I think we're doing a Scream series.
I assumed we would be.
Yeah, okay, that's good. So, I think what the plan will be then is next week we will do Men Doing Their Jobs Really Fucking Well, taking a look at Heat. The week after, let's take a week off of that, because to be fair, we're going to have 4 Scream films to watch.
Yeah.
And then we'll resume Michael Mann the week after. So, yeah, content is pretty free-flowing at the moment. Nothing new on there this week, just because, like, Christmas, New Year, my daughter's birthday, but we already kind of trailed that last week anyway. So, let's get into it. I suppose it's probably to talk about in, like, Don't Look Up and Matrix Resurrections, but and I know Mark's got opinions here, at least. People need to stop reacting to other people, and but also people need to stop making really definitive statements that I'm sure they would say, well, they're not trying to bait anyone. Yeah, you kind of are though, aren't you? We'll get into the films in question, but Don't Look Up in particular is that's going to run for months and months, because that film is going to get multiple Oscar nominations, and the Oscars aren't until March.
Yes.
Over to you, Mark.
Yeah, I have been a little bit less active within the discourse of it all, partially because I find it all a mixture of amusing and irksome. I think I would say. So what I would say is the general discourse about Don't Look Up, and I think you can throw the Matrix Resurrections into that as well. Without getting into what we're going to talk about within the reviews, I think we can cover that without doing that. It seems like they've been the 2 movies that everyone's been talking about, which is cool because they're the 2 movies that are out. But it kind of also follows on a little bit from the Spider-Man discourse that was going around a few weeks ago, in the sense that it seems like what's happened is a lot of people have had time off, and have not wanted to actually sort of discourse with people around them, or the people that are around them don't care about their views on the Matrix Resurrections. So what's happened is they've spent their entire time winding themselves up by scrolling and having blind rage arguments with people who they don't know and they don't converse with, because unfortunately now Twitter can actually just throw whatever it wants at you, whether or not you follow people or not. I frequently see tweets from people that I actively do not follow, and they're not even just retweets. It's like person blah and blah has liked this tweet. It's like, right, but I don't follow that person. Yeah. Can you? How do I? I actually had to Google it to say, how do I turn this off? And you basically can't. In the same way as I don't think that everything that I like should appear in somebody else's. What is it? If I want somebody to see something that I've seen that I go, ooh, I agree with that, or ooh, I like that, I'll retweet it.
Exactly, yeah.
So there's that. But also, I do think a little bit of this is too many people have had time off. And have had time off where they're doing this thing there. But the other point is, it's a point that you raised there, Ian, that I thought was really interesting, that I vehemently agree with, is this matter-of-factness that started. So it's these people who are basically, and it's usually followed by "don't at me," which is a bit like,
Why
right,
are you here then?
Why are you here then?
Yeah.
Go and post it as your status on Facebook. Oh, it's because none of your racist uncles are going to try and respond to you talking about Mason Resurrections. It's that. It's this idea of stating something and saying this is what it is, not a discourse or not I found this from it. It's how dare they say this, or how dare someone actually having a go saying that that Lena Wachowski shouldn't have an opinion on the Matrix. She fucking wrote it.
Bonkers.
And it's this weird oddity of, and I go through it every so often with Twitter. I still use Twitter. I still quite enjoy Twitter, but I don't post and I don't engage with it anywhere near as much as I used to. And every so often I go, maybe I should a little bit more. And I kind of, in 2022 I actually want to. There are certain things I will not post about. So I won't post about football on Twitter. Just because there's just no point. That is a cesspool now. It's gone. It's done. Can't do it. Just can't do it. I might occasionally respond to somebody who's chatting with it and have a brief little conversation with it, but I'm not going to post about a game that I'm watching. Just not going to fucking go there. There's no point. Can't be arsed with it. Don't have the time, patience, or amusement for it. But it's just this... Why does everybody constantly... somebody might put out a thing saying, oh, just watch Don't Look Up. Thought it was a really engaging blah, 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 about blah, 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 right? And then immediately 30 people go, it's bullshit, it's fucking shit, and this bit was shit, and what about this bit? It's like...
There's a massive pile on, isn't there?
Why? It's just the reams of just negativity and need to be right.
I mean, one thing I will say though, I agree with that 99%. That 1%, Adam McKay and the co-writer, whose name I don't care to remember, have not exactly been above it all. They've both come out with some tweets where it does feel like it's accusing people who don't like it of maybe not as much being climate change deniers, but refusing to understand the message that the film is trying to send. And I saw a very interesting tweet by someone, I'm ever so sorry, I can't remember who, but they were saying that this is a thing that is still, it has been kind of bubbling up, where the morality of the message and the quality of the film is something that I think a lot of film Twitter has been very guilty of in the last few years, of going, well, this is a film with a strong message, so this is a good film.
Oh yeah, I think I agree with you wholeheartedly. Again, on that, I think there is it's something that I've always had an issue with in general in films. So when people say, "Oh, I mean, at least it was ambitious," it's right, an ambitious failure is still a failure. I don't care how fucking ambitious you were; it just means you didn't have the skills to actually pull it off. And yeah, the morality thing there, it's like you can't you can't say something's bad, or you can't dislike something if its message is right. Well, yeah, that's unfair.
Exactly, but the thing that does seem to have kind of congealed now, where it's essentially, if we know the message, stop trying to cram it down our throats. Stop that. It's weird because now it's like Adam McKay and co-writer seem to be kind of implying, well, you should at least, the very least, like what the film is trying to do, so you should like the film, really. But then a few years back, that's kind of what film Twitter was doing with, I'm ever so sorry, the first one that comes up to mind here, potential trigger warning for people, just in terms of how much they might like it, Selma. That film...
Yeah.
I honestly, if that film was not about what it was about, I don't think it would have got half. And also in combination with the fact that it got snubbed in so much that it only got nominated for a few Oscars. That kind of combined there. But this is this is the kind of the discourse thing that worries me is, you've got this kind of equivalence between quality and message, and then you've got people really backlashing at that. And I think your point that you made there, Mark, that people have been sat with their families who don't give a fuck about films for the last week or so, whereas previously they might be in Slack channels or Teams channels about it with like-minded people able to talk about it, and they don't have that outlet. It's fascinating. My Christmas was my brother-in-law and sister-in-law basically saying, well, we don't really watch movies now. They just watch TV. And it's like, yeah, all right, then fair enough. Yeah, and I move on with it. It feels like a lot of these folks are just like, I have to have a fucking opinion and get it out there. And then getting tricked. It's funny, people are tweeting about Don't Look Up. The filmmakers of Don't Look Up are then reacting to those tweets, and then other people are reacting to the filmmakers of Don't Look Up tweeting about negative reaction to it. So it's just this fucking messy feedback loop. Yeah. And all I can think of, like, spoiler alert for, what I'm thinking, between liking Being the Ricardos and kinda liking Matrix Resurrections and liking Don't Look Up, fucking the crosshairs that would be on me if I was any fucking substantial part of film Twitter. I tell you what,
my views now on film Twitter are kind of a little bit like literally. Like it's this ball of fucking cats and fucking dogs, just having a mass fucking brawl, and all you can just see occasionally is a paw or something like that, and then just dust settling, everything like that. And I'm just kind of looking at it going, fucking hell, what's going on over there? Have you seen that? And occasionally, I might go, walk up to it and just prod it, and then fucking just stand back and go, I'm gonna fucking just go and see what that's done.
It's entertaining. That's and I think that's the perspective that I'm going to take on it. That yes, it's toxic, but I don't really care, and it is quite fun watching people who write about film for a living get so fucking het up about this stuff. And I think I used to, and I look at it now, and it is just like, yes, it's depressing, and yes, I wish they were talking about other things, but fucking hell, people just going on Twitter thread rants about Adam McKay not liking the fact that people don't Look Up, and then just getting more annoyed about that. It's quite funny.
It is. The whole thing, I think is quite funny, but I just...
The thing is, though, it's not funny if you're a naive, not really part of film Twitter kind of normal person who happens to go on and go, "Ooh, just finished Don't Look Up, really quite enjoyed it. Hashtag Don't Look Up," and then you get fucking caught up in the storm of it all.
That's fair,
and it's a really good point actually, because the thing is, I think it's fair to say that the film Twitter community would count itself as a more liberal community that holds its moral compass to a very left-leaning stance. So it should be about inclusivity, and people should, there should be correct representation within cinema and everything like that. But yeah, they are also the ones who will pounce on anybody. There's another point I'll come to in a second. That they will pounce on anybody who.
Bullying.
Yeah, it is. It's basically it's a version of cyberbullying, but they would never action or acknowledge that it is, because I'd never bully anybody. I think that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Say, all right, cool. The minute somebody tweets that they liked a movie, and the first thing you can think to do is go, well, no, what about this or this or this? Like, That's
no,
not
shit,
discourse.
you must be an idiot.
Yeah, that's not discourse.
Yeah.
That's what is it. And it's I think there's so many sides, because film Twitter is still a wonderful thing sometimes. It genuinely can be.
I liked Becky's.
I still have faith in it to a large extent. But the thing is, it's there's the problem that I have, where it's a genuine problem. It's why I've taken a step back. Is snark has replaced everything. So even if you really like a movie, if the person really likes a movie, if they can think of a snarky fucking tweet that might get 15 likes and 7 retweets, it's that endorphin rush they have, they'll put that out. And it's that thing, and it becomes this thing where you can sometimes you can just never tell if people like something or not.
Yeah, and I think back to what you were saying about you don't just see what people that you follow have put up anymore. It's like stuff that people that you follow have liked, or because you follow blah, you might also like this.
Yeah, and it's like, no, fuck off.
I choose not to engage with that.
It's not you might like, it's you might want to react to this. Yeah. That's what they should be saying, sorry.
Exactly. So because of that, you can't just go, I don't agree with this person's opinions or thoughts, and I don't wish to engage with them, so I'm going to not follow them. You can't do that anymore, because someone you follow will follow them or will like something, then you'll see it, and it's a toxic fucking place, is Twitter.
I still have faith.
It's misguided.
But I'm an eternal optimist in some of these things.
I put a bit too much vodka in this one.
The other bit that I will say, about a last thing that I will say about the whole Twitter thing, because I genuinely, I am going to decide next year that I'm going to engage with it a little bit more, but in my own way.
That's a fucked up New Year's resolution, Mark.
I know, it is. But I mean, part of me is going, there's two ways you can attack this, Mark. One is you can just engage in it, and you can literally just put out, if you watch a movie and, you quite enjoyed it or anything like that, or if you didn't get on with it, and you put like a little tweet out saying, oh, blah, 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 now what, I just watched blah, blah, thought it was alright, anything like that. And then if people come in and go, well, I didn't like it, anything like that, I'll go, alright, cool. And then I'll just put that. There's another little part of me, which is the fucking, the twat on my shoulder, which wants to, when somebody puts out something like really profound about a movie, and like you look at it and you go, that has taken them a while to do, and you look at it and it is that thing of going, it was a wonderful poetic slice of life with rich veneers of tapestry running all through it with scintillating fonts and like that. Just to respond, not even like negatively or anything, actually go, yeah, it was alright, wasn't it? So they can't then go back and say,
no, the guy's genius.
You're attacking them. Just basically just be like that. Because it's coming from a positive place, but it will wind them up.
Basically, you want to add to...
I want to essentially wind people up with just positivity and kindness.
Toxic positivity.
No, I'm not calling it toxic positivity.
It's just... it is toxic positivity. That's fucking perfect, Bex. Toxic positivity.
But let's go for that. Let's do that.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. This is the thing. It's like even though my New Year's resolution this year is drink more clear alcohol. So, we're both off to a flyer, I think.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, straight up.
Why?
Yeah.
Why specifically clear alcohol?
Because I swear, touch wood, I swear to God, it's not giving me hangovers.
Oh, no, it doesn't, no.
I've been drinking a lot of vodka martinis over the last week or so, and I'm fine. And I'm not saying right, so now I can get secretly pissed every night. That's not what I'm saying. But literally, I drank a lot of vodka martinis on Monday night, and on Tuesday morning, I got up and did 20 minutes of weight training, and it was fine.
All right. Stay away from gin though.
Yeah, gin's a little bit more spicy for me there, but yeah, vodka martinis, dude, they're the way forward.
Yes, yeah. I don't drink at home, so. The last bit I will do on the Twitter thing, I do always find it amusing this time of year because you start getting people's end of year, excuse me, lists cropping up there, and they'll put out, these are my top 10 movies. And I always sort of look at it, and there's another. I think there is another bit I'll come to that is a more shorter thing. But then you look at it, and you're looking at people, and you're going, they're not your 10 favourite fucking movies of this year. They're not. They are the 10 most. They're the ones that you think that you should like the most. Don't get me wrong. 8 of those might be in your top 10, but there's something else that fucking should be in there that you fucking haven't put in there. And there's at least 2 or 3 of them that you didn't actually fucking like, but going back to what we said earlier, but you know that you fucking should. People should be more honest about what they do and don't like, which leads me to have you seen this recent trend that's been doing Twitter at the moment that says like fucking 10 albums, 10 bands, 10 movies, 10 comedies, 10 thrillers,
10 directors
10 directors to know me by. I keep thinking I might join this and just put like 10 directors that you will not want to fucking know me after you've read. Can you imagine that? Your 10 best comedies to know me by. No one will want to fucking know me after that.
This is the thing, right? It's like I've seen quite a few of those lists as well. And I'll be honest, like, if we were to do the Doodies next year, my winner for I know that film would be good, but fuck me, I just can't get round to it. Coda.
Yeah, that's it. It's been free on our Apple TV for getting on 6 months yet. Ian, can I ask you a question? Have you even ever at any point got close to sticking it on, or do you just keep forgetting about it, occasionally seeing it on somebody else's list and going, yep, by the time it's May of next year, I won't ever need to watch that.
No, I mean, this is the thing. It's like, I will do my thing that I did this year, that I'm very proud of, actually, that I literally watched every film nominated for an Oscar, and then did a fucking ranking article on Pod Syndicate.
Which was fucking brilliant, by the way.
Thank you. You were the only person who fucking read it, but bless you. But no, I mean, like, and it's like, I'm gonna do that again next year, but I'm already a little bit like, oh, fucking hell, I kind of hope Coda gets snubbed. And I'm sure it's good. Yeah. I'm sure it's good. I am. But the
thing that's making me go for Coda and going, do you know what? Maybe I might watch it within the next sort of like month or so. It partially because it's supposed to be really good. The other point is it's under 2 hours, which is a novelty nowadays. And thirdly, people keep telling me it's actually a lot more fun than you'd think.
Yeah, because it doesn't sound fun.
It doesn't sound fun, but a lot of people have said there's a lot of drama in there, but there are genuinely 2 or 3 laugh out loud moments that are supposed to be within the movie laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Moments within that, and I'm kind of all right with that. Somebody said it's closer in tone to something like the Peanut Butter Falcon than it is to what you think it's going to be.
Oh shit! Okay, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, it said it's not. I mean, we watched it. Said it's not as like lo-fi out there as Peanut Butter Falcon, but in the sense that you watch trailers for Peanut Butter Falcon, you think that this is going to be really depressing, but it's actually fun, uplifting, yes, quite hard at points to watch, but it's actually I thoroughly enjoyed Peanut Butter Falcon. I thought it was a fantastic film. I know we're not allowed to talk about Shia LaBeouf anymore, but yeah, apparently it is a little bit more closer to between that and Baby Teeth. Which I'm kind of like going, all right.
That's a combo.
Yeah. That's a middle ground I can get between.
That's a combo. Yeah, no, oh god, I forgot what I was going to say. Fuck. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Oscar nominations, I think early February. I want to say because it's usually about a month or so between them. So we'll soon find out. But yeah, I don't know. I remember what I was going to say. No fucker's brave enough to put Malignant in their top tens. Like that, they're just they're putting Coda in there because they know they should put Coda in there. You fuckers put Malignant in there.
I mean, at the beginning of Feb, I believe we're going to do our end of year list rather than at the end of the year because it just gives us time to have a bit of a mop up. We did that last year, and it was a really good idea, I think. It's
actually, I mean, in terms of show admin, it's actually something to kind of like speak on a little bit. So we're pushing it to. I want to say it's the last show of January.
Yeah,
that we're going to do it. But like Mark said, it gives us some time. But also, there's most notably, I think Nightmare Alley doesn't come out over here until like mid-January.
Yeah, there's that, and there's Belfast, Licorice Pizza this weekend, and bits like that. But there's probably 4 or 5 movies that are out between now and the end of Jan. That in my brain are going, I hope they trouble my top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd quite like that.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Okay. So let's talk trailers. Got a few. So it was interesting. A lot of people were saying, well, Death on the Nile, they're really trying to hide Armie Hammer. Isn't it a bit? He says something.
Yeah, that's it. It was. I saw a lot of people doing the whole, the DiCaprio pointing meme thing, saying everybody watching the Death in the Nile trail try to spot Armie Hammer. It's like, well, no, he's just in it a few times.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he's not in it as much as he would have been had he not been eating people, but
allegedly.
The thing is, it is allegedly. I'm kind of hoping a little bit that maybe it just has happened now. It's like, holy fucking shit, it's just true.
I feel like if there was any
way in it, then this wouldn't be coming out, yes. I mean, there is another more tragic, I think, consequence of the fact that Armie Hammer is in the trailer less, is that Russell Brand's in the trailer more.
I thought you could say Gal Gadot's in it more, but yeah, all right.
Yeah, Russell Brand's in it more. And I kind of feel a little bit like the last thing that Russell Brand should be doing in a movie that is littered with questionable casting choices is putting his head above the parapet and going, I'm still here! And maybe he shouldn't do that. You are being in the papers a bit more from essentially a lot of people going, well, actually, Russell...
Yeah, it's a pretty... There are a few pretty cursed people in this.
Well, I was going to say, actually, do you reckon if you get offered a part in a Kenneth Branagh movie, you go, nah. What have I done? What have I done that I could get cancelled for? Because he is cursed, isn't he? There was the Johnny Depp thing from Orient Express, wasn't there?
There was the lad from Artemis Fowl.
Wow, what did he do?
No, I'm joking.
Oh.
That was me thinking, I mean, that was probably something like really fucking right wing.
And then in this, there's 3.
Yeah, there is 3. At least 3 for now. Just give it time. It's now for a few weeks.
I mean, it's fascinating. It's an ever so slight tangent. The fact that Black Panther 2 is due out towards the end of next year, and they still haven't restarted shooting from when Letitia Wright had that injury in September. It is fucking fascinating.
Injury which is seeming a little bit like somebody went, oh, Letitia, look over there. What was that? Nothing. What was it? What was that? What did you just put in my arm? No.
But I mean, it's like, what? Did she fucking break her back or something? Like,
it's one of those things we'll never know.
I thought it was just that they'd mandated that all cast have to be vaccinated.
Oh, no, that is the rumour, but the official statement is that she had an onset injury.
Oh, okay.
But no one's saying what the injury was, but just that it was more severe than they thought it was going to.
Yeah.
All right.
There was a report like a very sketchy report saying that they were retooling it, that Winston Duke's character in Baku, I think his name was that now being set up as the new Black Panther. But we'll see what happens. There was
just a sketchy report that said that they were furiously trying to work out a way to write it that Michael B. Jordan could come back as the Black Panther.
Oh,
I'd take Baku as
hell
Black
yeah.
Panther.
I'd take either of them. Simply the fact that Michael B. Jordan was really fucking good in it.
You load that dump truck of money like outside his house and just go, please.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
I reckon it would take him literally seconds to go on then.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, it is all very Shuri died on the way back to her home planet, isn't it? Like,
It really is, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Death on the Nile. I don't know, French and Saunders are in it.
Yeah, I both like that and don't at the same time.
I mean, I like Murder on the Orient Express, and it's like Branagh like shoots in 70mm and like really goes for it with these films. So I'm pretty up for it. February, like a nice murder mystery in February. Why not?
Yeah, I'm very up for it. Yeah.
Yeah, too right. I also watched the trailer for I Want You Back, which is Charlie Day and Jenny Slate romantic comedy that I believe is coming out on Amazon Prime on Valentine's Day.
Yep.
To be honest, I'm kind of interested to see Scott Eastwood try to be likable.
Yep.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Yep.
But
I'm going to predict that I think he'll pull it off.
I kind of think he will as well. The retooling of Scott Eastwood into hunky supporting character could be the making of him.
Yeah, it's like he went, right, I want to be leading action man, and then it just didn't work for him, and so he kind of went, right, can I be essentially what I think Chris Hemsworth wants to be, which is on set for like a third of the amount of time of the stars, and gets to be hunky idiot.
Yeah, no, quite. The thing I'm not looking forward to, though, is Charlie Day and Jenny Slate are two characters who I'm not entirely sure I want to see them get together on screen, because that feels like they'd be a really annoying couple.
We watched this show, didn't we, Vex?
Yeah.
And I said to you, this feels like a movie that should have come out 2 years ago, because now people will look at it and just go, yeah, it's just a bit mean. That it's essentially a story about two people trying to break up two other people.
Yeah.
It feels a little bit like we're in this a little bit. Well, I'm going to say it. We're in the post Ted Lasso world of sometimes people are just wanting content to be nice.
Yeah.
And I think that this might fall a little bit foul of that.
It does seem a bit mean-spirited. I said to you when we watched the trailer, it feels like it wants to be a modern day When Harry Met Sally, but just without any charm.
Well, that's it. You know, the Jenny Slate is nowhere near as charming as 80s and 90s Meg Ryan was. And Charlie Day, although he's here on Mighty Billy Crystal, he doesn't have quite that patter of Billy Crystal at that time.
I just think the general kind of vibe of the film is...
And I really quite like Charlie Day.
I like Charlie Day.
I do find him quite amusing. But yeah, I will happily watch this on like a Tuesday on Amazon.
Yeah.
I got this mix just right, I think.
You want another one?
That's my third.
Wow. Since we started, or...
2.5.
Okay.
Uncharted. We've got a new Uncharted trailer.
Yeah, it's a hard no from me, is that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go out and say that I think I am the only person, and I will include the entire cast. I am the only person in the world who, every time they see something to do with the Uncharted movie, goes, "Go on then."
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
That set piece with the swinging pirate ships
Yep.
in the sky and then jumping back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on then.
I'm very. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those films that begrudgingly people either have to say, "Yeah, that was all right," or will refuse to say that's all right. But if you check their letterbox in 3 years' time, they'll have watched it 3 times.
I am very
and then
sure.
when you turn around and go, "Hang on a minute, you've watched it 3 times, but you're only giving it 1 fucking star." They'll go, "Well, yeah, I watched it once in the cinema, and then my nephew wanted to watch it, and then my cousin wanted to watch it, and I had to watch it." It's like, yeah, I go, "You like it, you prick."
And then the next time I watched it, I worked out that I can only get hard if I watch Mark Wahlberg with a moustache, and there's not a lot of content out there for me. I fully think it's going to be shit, but that set piece looked like, well, I haven't seen that before. Given the amount of superhero films that basically is blockbuster cinema now, is big thing falling or big light in the sky. Like I'd watch that.
I like adventure movies like this.
I do. It annoys me too much that they didn't just make the film of the games.
I agree, but I also stand by the point is that then you would have the comparison between the film and the games, and that is what annoys. You end up with people going, "Oh yeah, but the game was better." At this point, it ends up, what is it? I see why they've done what they've done. I also see why people don't agree with it, but I'm kind of fine with it. I don't care enough about the Uncharted game series to give a shit, is what I would say. I really enjoyed the first, and I've tried playing the other ones, and then never really got into them.
Yeah, but you don't really play narrative games.
No, I don't. No.
Because you haven't got the attention span. Ooh, kick ball. Ooh, score goal. Ooh.
Well, yeah, literally, you know, the FIFA like movie, a version of FIFA actually exists. It's just called football.
Oh yeah.
No, it's called the Goal Trilogy.
which I have not watched and I will never watch. Because football movies are terrible.
It's not a glamorous sport, is it?
There are very few sports out there that you can make cinematic or more cinematic than their actual sport. For instance, boxing is actually quite boring. Boxing movies, fantastic. Baseball, even baseball fans will tell you it's boring. Baseball movies, pretty fucking great.
Ice hockey.
I mean, no, ice hockey is quite a fun sport to watch because it's violence on ice.
But you do like an ice hockey movie.
I do, there's the occasional anomaly. Ice hockey is one of those. Surfing, that boring.
I mean, probably not when you're doing it.
I would say that 99% of surfers are bored.
I reckon that's why they get stoned so much.
That's an insane statement.
No, because I can back this up, though. Because
you surveyed a bunch of surfers
yes,
during lockdown.
because 1% of people who have surfed will be good at it.
Yeah.
Because it looks really difficult. So the other 99% are people trying to do it, thinking that it's going to be Point Break, and it's not.
But that doesn't mean they're bored, because they're trying to do it.
They are bored. They won't admit it, but they're bored. Going to do something that you literally have a finite amount of time to learn how to do, knowing that you're not going to be able to learn how to do it, and you're not going to be able to fucking fully Patrick Swayze in the fucking 4 days that you've got in Cornwall or California, will make you bored.
I'm sorry. If you're actively trying to do something and you're also bored while doing it, you are fucking insane.
I mean, that's going to explain a lot about my life.
Ian, have you ever been to work?
No, but I mean, surfing isn't a job, is it? Well, I mean, to professionals, I suppose it is. Like, if you were to tell me that a professional surfer who can just do it in their fucking sleep is bored, I could maybe buy that. But the argument that Mark is going with is that 1% of people are good at it and 99% are shit. And it's the 99% who are bored, even though they're just trying to surf.
Yep.
Like work, you're like, you know, yeah,
they're bored of being shit at
but
surfing.
you're not
Ian.
doing it in your fucking leisure time.
They're bored of being shit at surfing. They're never going to get it. It's one of those things you can either do it or you can't.
But if you're bored, then you'd give up.
That's the thing. People don't like to give up. People like to think that they can conquer something. And media has taught us, they've brainwashed us into thinking that we can all be anything we want to be. But you can't. You can't surf.
That doesn't mean that you're bored while you're...
They will be.
For the love of God, anyone listening who has ever tried to surf, can you tweet at Film Bastards and just, you know, tell us whether there's any validity to this? That sounds like the rantings of a madman to me, but I'll leave it up to the audience.
I have a feeling that I'm going to get some tweets about that.
You'd probably be quite good at surfing as well because you've got a very low centre of gravity.
I do have a very low centre of gravity, yes.
A very long torso.
I have a very long torso and teeny tiny legs, don't I?
Yeah. I'm the other way around. I'd just be falling off every 2
Yeah,
seconds.
you have terrible balance.
I do. I can fall over,
Walking.
sat down.
Yeah, I've literally seen that.
Yeah.
It's disturbing.
I'd love to be able to surf. I wouldn't be bored. I'd be
well.
striving for perfection.
No, you
Falling.
would be bored because when you can't do something, you get so angry.
I'd be angry, not bored.
I'd
But angry, not bored.
I do think there's anger and boredom are very they're bedfellows.
No, they
They're
are.
very, very,
Very
different,
different.
feelings.
Boredom is like a lack of...
But you see, that's the thing. I don't really get bored, do I?
No.
I don't. What is my saying for the reasoning for why I don't get bored?
Only boring people get bored. You've lost the room, Mark.
Definitely, yeah. You've done it, dude. I'm sorry.
It happens every so often. when my ramblings get everybody pointing at me, going, "You're an idiot."
Anyway, trailers.
Yeah,
We all agree that Uncharted looks shit.
No, I think it looks quite good.
I'm willing to give it a chance.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'll just replay the game then.
Fair enough.
No, I'll get tricked into fucking watching it like I did with Kingsman.
Yes, you will. You sure this is a secret screening, Mark? Yep. Wait, did you just say 2 for Uncharted? No.
I don't know what happened.
No.
I was just thinking, like, while we're dropping Isabel off, and we could go. I mean, you don't have to come, but I don't know what you'll do for 2 and a bit hours. Thanks, Mark. Thanks.
Oh God, we're gonna disagree on the Kingsman, aren't we? Right, we're doing the Kingsman first. But before that, there's one other trailer I've got. Have you guys got any more?
I think there's just the one of... Oh, 2 more.
Okay.
Oh, but no, because we covered Multiverse of Madness when we talked about Spider-Man, didn't we? Because that was basically... I've got 2 more then.
Go on.
The Bat and the Cat.
Okay, that's the one that I've got. Am I
You're missing
Am I
one.
missing a really obvious one then?
Yeah.
It's from quite a while back, so that's maybe why.
I think it's literally from like the day after we recorded last time.
What's that then?
Which we did this one first then.
Yeah, go on.
The Northman.
Oh, fuck me. Oh, shit. How the fuck did I forget the Northman?
I don't know.
Oh.
Because...
Oh. Avenge father, save mother, kill Flippy Flap. I can't fucking wait.
Yep. We watched that show with Bex and then literally turned around to each other and just went,
Oh.
I mean, yeah. What is not to fucking love about that movie? Yeah, very up for that.
Oh. Right, I mean, like, that film it fucking better be what that trailer is fucking selling it as. It better be that.
Yeah.
If I am fucking being taken by the hand into some fucking 2-hour meditative thing where the only time there's any violence is in really brief flashbacks or something, I'm not going to be happy. I need what that film is selling. I need Willem Dafoe being bug-eyed. I need Bjork being a fucking witch. And I need Alexander Skarsgård chopping people up. That is what I need. Yes, you can have your slower bits, your quieter bits with Anya Taylor-Joy. That's absolutely fine. Why? Let's have her pick up an axe, right? I need The Northman to be exactly what this fucking trailer is. And if it's not, and any motherfuckers out there who are like, well, you didn't get what the trailer sold you. You got something better. No. This trailer has sold me an orange. I don't want anyone saying, here is a can of pickles, and them going, but they're better than oranges. No, I want my fucking orange.
Yep. The thing is that it's 2 hours, 20 minutes long. I will take 2 hours of what that trailer is, and 20 minutes can just be chatting.
That's fine. That is 10% of this film can be chatting.
Yeah.
10%.
Whereas the rest
30%
of it, I want violence.
Can be fucking violence. The other 60% can be some crazy shit.
I have a feeling it is going to be that. I've just got a feeling. I have a feeling that is what fucking Skarsgård would have fucking signed on for. Give me my orange. Yeah, he wants Ian to have his orange. He doesn't want to give him a jar of pickles.
Don't want a jar.
He wants to give him a fucking whole orange grove.
I don't want a fucking pickle broth.
Pickles are really good, though, to be fair.
Pickles are fine. Pickles in burgers, absolutely fine. But if I'm asking for an orange, and then you give me a pickle, that's not what I fucking asked for. Even if you're like, well, pickles are alright. Yeah, pickles are alright. But when I had the idea of an orange in my head, and then the pickle is made real, no.
You wouldn't want a slice of orange on your burger, though.
You wouldn't steal a car. Sorry, just reminded me of the piracy thing. Sorry. No, but I wouldn't. But I'm not. It's not burger time. It's vitamin C time. And I want my orange. And I'm going to make another vodka martini.
It does look dead good. And it's got Alexander Skarsgård in it. So I'm in anyway.
I showed it to Donna because I thought Alexander Skarsgård, she might be up for it. Listeners, she wasn't.
Was she not? She's not keen.
No, that's fine. It's fine. Different strokes for different folks.
Exactly.
Right. Now, do you know what? I'm just going to put the rest of this vodka in here. Right. I've got some beers in the fridge as well. Do you think they'll go down lovely after this?
Are they clear?
Oh, they're brown as the murkiest shit water, my friend.
You'll have to get yourself on hard seltzer. Get yourself some White Claw.
I have a theory that hard seltzer was supposed to be like the next big drink, and then COVID happened and it destroyed its fucking groove.
I think it's pretty massive in like America.
Yeah, but so are a lot of things.
Yeah, they can't drink over there.
I remember Noel talking about how Claire was really into hard seltzer, and that felt like it was in the before times.
I think it was just before, wasn't it? Yeah.
Thing is, it would have been a good socialising in summer drink, and then summer got cancelled.
Yeah.
It was all walking.
I just poured myself a really large vodka martini, and I got that fucking balance spot on, guys. I'm really proud of myself.
Tight. Bat and the cat, Ian.
Batty Batman. Batman looked good. I want Batman. I want this film. I would very much like this film. Little bit worried that the Penguin is going to be barely in it because they're setting him up for fucking spin-offs and other films and whatnot. But Zodiac Killer-esque Riddler versus Robert Pattinson's... I hope he fucks the living shit out of Zoe Kravitz in this. We need Batman to be balls deep in Catwoman and then be conflicted about it after. I don't want any will they, won't they. They need to he needs to raw dog that shit, and then afterwards, let's have some, oh dear, I shouldn't have done that because she's a bad guy. Yep. That's my prediction for Matt Reeves is the Batman. It's going to be an 18 rated Robert Pattinson nutting in Zoe Kravitz. Oh, my God.
Do you know
That's
what
a lot of vodka.
Do you know what I just really want from this movie?
What?
Robert Pattinson nutting and Zoe Kravitz.
I mean, that can happen, that's fine. I just really want a Batman movie that's got the balls to not show you what happens to his mum and dad.
They don't, apparently.
Good.
Apparently it's not yet. I just looked, and apparently it is 2 hours 13 minutes long, and for the first time in a long time my brain's gone, no, why isn't it 3 hours long?
I really hope there's an R-rated extended version.
I don't the thing's just R-rated. I have a feeling it's going to be.
Do you reckon it's going to earn its rating in a proper way rather than a certain movie that we've watched recently that just says fuck a lot?
Which one?
The one we watched today.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, fair enough. Yes, I think it will.
That really annoyed me.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I feel like we're there.
Yeah, I feel like we're there as well.
You know, Conrad, our ancestors, they were terrible people. They robbed, lied, pillaged, and killed until one day they found themselves noblemen. But that nobility, it never came from chivalry. It came from being tough and ruthless. Back then, to be called a gentleman would have been a death sentence. Not the mark of honor it is today. We are Oxfords, not rogues.
The King's Man is directed by Matthew Vaughn and stars Ralph Fiennes, Harris Dickerson, Digimon Honsune, Gemma Arterton, Matthew Good, I think. It was him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, dog. And others. So, hello. You alright? The King's Man is a prequel to the Kingsman films and basically chronicles the origin of the Kingsmen. A organisation which works outside of governments to stop the evils of the world. Ralph Fiennes is its founder. Harris Dickerson is his son. Ralph Fiennes doesn't want his son to go off to fight in World War One. Harris Dickerson does. And there's a malevolent, sweary Scotsman who is uniting the terrors of the world, including Rhys Ifans' Rasputin. How I forgot him at the start, I don't know. To do World War One things. I lost my thread there, guys, but I think I nearly got there. So, right, Becky, you've been very passive-aggressive about the King's Man for the last half hour. Please tell me it was any kind of pleasant surprise, because I don't think it was.
Right, okay. It wasn't for me, but I did enjoy Jimon Honsu in it, and I thought he was good. That's okay. That was me being nice.
Sorry, it just really weirded me out that Mark's tweeted about oranges and pickles. And I was just like, what's going on? Am I in the future? What's happening? And it was like, no, Mark can tweet while recording the podcast. Like, seriously, have I just drunk a lot in a really short amount of time? I think I have.
Yes.
Yeah, I do need to slow down. Okay, so Bex, that's absolutely fair enough.
Oh, and Charles Dance was there.
apologise.
I like Charles Dance. I like seeing him in things.
Oh, he was. I apologise that you were essentially held hostage to watch this film, but thank you for your service. Mark, you were up for this. And I suppose one of the criticisms of the Golden Circle, the second Kingsman film, was that the almost kind of like lads mag mentality got in the way a little bit. You know, like people weren't happy with that kind of joke towards the end of the first one. there is a scene in the second one which, probably... I haven't rewatched the second one since the cinema, and I bet that hasn't aged well, even though it's only a few years old.
I'm the same. I haven't watched this in the cinema, which I keep meaning to go back to it, but it's one of those things I don't own, and it's not on anything, so I haven't watched it again. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, no, same, actually. The King's Man is, a prequel, set at World War One time, so, those kinds of laddie elements aren't in it. Do you think there was... that Vaughn's replaced that with other things that feel Vaughn-y? Or, do you feel that his imprint was on this?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely... You can definitely tell it's a Matthew Vaughn movie. I think his eye is maybe off it in comparison to some of his other movies, but I think that's more... I got a general whiff of maybe his heart wasn't quite in this one as much as it was the other two, or that his creative juices weren't going quite as rapidly as they might have been for the first two, for sure, on that. But there's still this... it's an oddity in point in The Kingsman. It's in the sense that it feels... It's a bit of a mess of a movie, in the sense that it's trying to almost have its cake and eat it in a lot of ways, and be critical of British noble society, but also at the same time kind of fetishise in it, like is going on an awful lot in British Anglo-American cinema. I just did bunny ears then, and no one can see it. That is going on within that. It's almost as if the majority of British people working in cinema at the moment went to public school and come from wealthy families.
How strange that is.
It is, isn't it? It's almost like they're trying to go, hey,
we're cool too.
We're cool, look. This movie at points is trying to kind of poke fun at that and criticise that, but it's almost a bit like, no... because you're still sort of constantly falling back into it.
We have a responsibility, Conrad, as people of privilege, to help others.
Yeah, and the fact that all of the help have heavy regional accents is a little bit like, oh, fucking hell, Matthew, you are tone deaf, aren't you? And then the table of evil is a bunch of dirty foreigners.
Yeah.
It was a little bit like, Really? The big reveal at the end was kind of like, yeah, we know. It's Matthew Good.
I'm going to be honest. It did a very good job on me, making me forget about him, because right when he was first in it, and they were talking about we got a mole in the British government, I was like, well, it's him.
Yeah. And
then he dies early enough that I forgot about him. I completely but the thing is, the marketing was making it seem like it's going to be a famous person who hasn't been talked about.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I went, it's Matthew Good, and the reasoning why is film logic. So it was the fact that Matthew Good clearly wasn't going to be a bumbling sidekick. Because his ego is too big for that, to cast himself in that part.
Oh, wow, okay, that's a leap I didn't take.
And so the minute that somebody was shot was behind the head, I was very much like, yeah, Matthew fucking Good. And to be fair, that's a pretty decent Scottish accent he's doing, so go on then.
Yeah.
In his Dr. Robotnik get up at the end with the big stash and the bald head.
Which made no sense that he had to have a shaved head.
Yeah.
And also as well, what made even less sense was the fact that so hang on a minute, when he got on into a lifeboat, rowed out to a submarine, got in the submarine, and then blew up the ship, and then for some reason took his wig off? Why not just have it that he shaved his head?
Exactly, yeah.
It made no sense.
The whole logistics of him being the baddie made no sense, though.
But, this is the thing. I thought it was an absolute mess. I thought some of the script was just awful. The story was terrible.
Reese Ifans was awful.
I thought Reese Ifans was fucking great as Rasputin. I thought he was fantastic as the Rasputin. However, it essentially is a mildly violent and vulgar cartoon that I actually quite enjoyed.
Honestly, I don't think it's a million miles away from the likes of fucking G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, and I'm not saying that disparagingly.
No, I think I would say that you are... I would say it's closer to that than it is to X-Men First Class, which is what I think Vaughn was going for.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a fascinating film. It's got tonal whiplash that you don't see much outside of Asian cinema. You know, it's like you think of like the films of like Kim Ji-woon or Park Chan-wook to a certain extent, where it can be like deathly serious one moment and then kind of knockabout goofy the next.
Yeah, the good, the bad, the weird.
Yeah, boom. Yeah, perfect. And and that is The King's Man. It's Matthew Vaughn just managing to like finance but also get a studio on board his fucking whatever the shit he wants to do, and most of the time for me it works. I mean, in no way am I going to say this film is perfect. God no. Like I say, the tonal whiplash is fucking mental with this film. But people have been very, very critical of the mid-credits bit. And, opinion is subjective.
But why? I'd watch the shit out of that movie.
Yep. When the penny drops that he's about to say who he is, I was just like...
Oh, the minute that... What is it? What's it said? I'm going to need... They need a right side. My brain went... Oh, fuck, I think I know what the mid-credits are.
I mean, another Kingsman film I don't think will happen at this point.
I think it will. No one thought we were going to get 3. Fuck it, why not have 4?
The only way that happens is if Disney let Netflix or Amazon do one.
Yeah.
Which maybe happens. To be clear, maybe that actually happens. Because I don't think Disney are going to be interested at all. This was one of the last kind of orphans from the Disney Fox merger, and it has. I mean, it's done awfully, at least in the US. I think it's done okay here, but not. It's not going to do great guns worldwide. But if The King's Man 2 was Ralph Fiennes versus Hitler and Stalin teaming up, or I suppose it's Lenin in this bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Lenin.
Sorry, but then that would. But then it could be like Ralph Fiennes teaming up with Stalin to basically go, all right, well, if we defeat Lenin and Hitler, we'll install you as because why the fuck not? They're basically puppets, so why not? But the moment he said Adolf Hitler, I was like, I'm so fucking sad I don't think we're going to get another one of these. Because the film does a very, very good switcheroo in that I was not expecting Harris Dickinson to get killed off halfway through. But it does now, like, after watching it, it does make sense. Yeah. Like, the narrative of the film, that does make sense that that's going to happen. But I love that these films have foregrounded. I mean, okay, it's Taron Egerton, but Colin Firth and then Ralph Fiennes as the kind of like badass action guys. You know, and like Ralph Fiennes, he gets a bit of stuff at the end. There's going to be a lot of stuntman work as well. But I think that's a cool idea that it's like, fuck it, let Ralph Fiennes be the suave, sophisticated, ass-kicking head of this fucking secret organisation.
And don't you want to see Stanley Tucci taking on Lennon?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, God, the fact that the touch of the Tooch there, you know, yeah, I mean that's the thing, that's great casting. And then Bex, I'm ever fair enough if you didn't get on with Reese fans, but the fact that this film has very like serious talk about the cost of war and how war is basically useless, but also has a scene of Reese Ifans licking a vaginal-looking hole in Ralph Fiennes' leg, and then basically doing Cossack dance fighting.
The thing is, there's
hard to hate.
Hang on, I want to know where he's going with this. Go on.
It's hard to hate. Like I'm like, yes, I will watch that, please.
The thing is,
It's just silly though.
the wonderful thing I think about this film is people will watch it and go and look at the Rasputin thing and say it's silly and everything like that. It's like, right, go read about Rasputin. That was tame in comparison to how fucking insane that guy was.
But the thing is, the film alternately is going for this kind of farcical pantomime and then trying to be super serious and comment on war. It just doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It tries to have its cake and eat it, and the problem is its cake is at points laced with cyanide.
And the licking bit is gross.
The licking bit was so fucking weird.
All that whole like prior section where it's like, are you a waiter or are you British? Get me a drink. Are you a monk or a ballerina? I mean, where does that even fucking come from? The ballerina bit. Because he glides.
Because he glides in, yeah. It's a ballerina.
It's a shit line. It's a line.
That was alright.
God. And the whole conversation about him wanting to fuck Conrad and then not wanting to fuck Conrad but wanting to lick Ralph Fiennes' leg.
Rasputin was a horny fucker.
I mean,
he fucking healed his leg though, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
But I really like that little element within the movie is the fact that it does heal his leg. And that Ralph Fiennes at one point goes, I mean, I just thought it was all bollocks, but my leg is better.
Yeah. I mean, no, but I mean, this is and Bex, this isn't like West Side Story where I'm like genuinely, you know, but even, slight tangent. I was listening to a podcast where Steven Spielberg was talking about West Side Story. He said he didn't do the rooftop bit for America because he knew he wouldn't be able to better it.
That's a fair
comment. And it's like, I kind of respect that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'm actually all right. That sebates me with that a little bit. I'm feeling better now.
Good podcast. The Director's Cut, the DGA podcast. He did an on-stage interview with Damien Chazelle, and it's Damien Chazelle asking him questions. It's great.
Ooh, I'll listen to that.
Yeah, no, it's good. But yeah, this is the thing, Bex. It's like, I can 100% get what you're saying, and like I'm saying as well, that it is tonal whiplash, and I think that it is Vaughn very, very confident in himself, and maybe like being his own.
No, you did never. Matthew Vaughn been confident in himself.
But being his own producer and not really having to listen to anyone. Whereas, you know, I think a surer hand probably would have been like, you kind of can't do this and the other at the same time if you actually want people to like your film and take it seriously. But we are approaching an age where I think a lot of blockbuster cinema is gonna be, you know, enjoyable, but maybe not too much that stands out. And I give The Kingsman points for having moments that stand out. Never again will we have Reese fans eating out Ralph Fiennes' leg on cinema.
I mean, I think that's probably a good thing.
I disagree. I want to see more of that shit.
I think it's the passing of a golden age, and it deserves a Viking funeral. Myself,
I will say this: just talking about this movie and reviewing this movie has made it go up half a star on my letterbox.
Straight up.
I liked that Conrad died.
You did like when Conrad died, didn't you?
Yeah.
You didn't know that's untrue. You wanted Conrad to die. You didn't like the way he died.
No, I said I liked that Conrad died.
Right.
Not the way he died. I thought that was a wee bit harsh.
It was a bit harsh, yeah. It was a little bit harsh.
But I
yeah.
did enjoy that he died because he really annoyed me with his posh boy shit.
You get the logic, though, why that guy did that. Because it's like, who the fuck's this guy who's come out of nowhere? Why has he got, like, a German-branded thing in his hand? And he's just said that he's someone who we know he's not.
I for sure know he's not.
You know, that is, you know, like, Conrad done fucks up there.
Yeah. It's... Yeah. It was. I wasn't. You weren't expecting him to die, but then when it does happen, you do go, "All right, fair enough." It's like when Rasputin actually fully died when Jim shoots him in the head. There, I was still a little bit going, "How are they going to get Rasputin back in this?"
Yeah.
That's the thing. If there was a sequel, I think he'd be back.
Yeah, it would surprise me, and there'd be a logic behind it.
Yep, he's Rasputin.
It's Rasputin.
Oh, I also liked the goat.
The goat
was good.
The goat who was just violence.
You looked at me really confused, didn't you? And I went, "That's not a thing that goats can do, not real goats."
Well, when he was climbing up the mountain there.
I don't think.
The fact that there was a sequence that was a minute or two long, which was Ralph Fiennes just battling goats and being around goats.
I do also enjoy the fact that scene ended with Ralph Fiennes turning round and saying, "Right, how do we get down off here then?"
Yeah.
And then it just doesn't show you it.
Yeah. No.
And I hope if there is another one, that there is a callback to that. That somebody literally turns around and says, and turns around to him and says, "Right, but I need to know, how did you get down off there?" And then just say something like, "On the back of goats." And then walk off.
The goats help.
What needs... I mean, God, if they did another one, it would have to end with Hitler making some sort of time machine and Ralph Fiennes going in the time machine, chasing Hitler, and then in the next one he teams up with Taron Egerton and Colin Firth to battle Hitler in the 2020s.
Yeah.
And I'd be... I would be a little bit... Yeah, that actually kind of makes sense in the context of these films.
Yeah. But the thing is, I'd watch that.
And yeah, who wouldn't want to watch Ralph Fiennes, Colin Firth and Taron Egerton battle Hitler in the present day?
Yep. Sold.
But at the same time, I could get what Becky's saying.
Yeah. I absolutely can. But it's... Yeah. I've gone from Geostorm to definitely not shit on this movie.
I'm a really firm definitely not shit. Like I watched it on Boxing Day, you know, like a bit, you know, I say a bit hungover. I had a lot to drink on Christmas Day. But Boxing Day I was there and I was laughing along. I had a really good time. It's a kind of just a bleary between Christmas and New Year. What the fuck? It was a good time, and I'm looking forward to watching it again. Yeah, solid, definitely not shit.
Yep.
Definitely shit, Bex.
Look, that's mean, and it's not fair, and I'm trying not to be shitty about things. It's just not for me. It's not aimed at me. This kind of brand of...
Thanks, I hate it. But not in a, like, you're grossed out by it kind of way. Just like, nah.
I think the thanks I hate it.
No, because that would be me saying thanks in any way, shape or form for this film.
Okay, alright. We've got to think about this.
I think it's not for me, aren't you?
Yeah, it just isn't. I'm not keen on the other two either, and I like Taron Egerton.
Oh, fair enough.
So
Have you seen number 2? You told me you hadn't seen number 2.
you show me it. Is that the one with the fucking joke about having anal at the end?
That's the first one.
No, that's the first one.
Oh, I might not have seen the second one then.
The second one's good, actually. You quite enjoy it.
The second one's got a scene that you're not going to enjoy.
I mean, I'll probably pass then.
All right.
I maybe just have to go, these films aren't for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
CS3P Combat. Player 1, choose your character.
Tired of film and television podcasts where the hosts exist in a blissful state of agreement?
Stronger. Player 2, choose your character.
Well, you're in luck.
Punter. Round 1, fight!
Allow me to introduce you to the Chinstroker vs. Punter podcast, featuring 2 film and television fans from Birmingham, England, who enjoy their media in very different ways.
But anyway, that brings us to the end of the plot of Blue Velvet.
The plot. I mean, the main characters are 2 of the dullest main characters I have ever encountered in any film.
So join us as we catch up on what we've been watching from our own very different perspectives.
Double KO. Round 2, fight!
You can find us at csvsp.libsyn.com, also on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, all the places that podcasts can be found.
Just really
It's not visually striking.
No.
Just getting confirmation.
It's just that's the 3rd time though. I mean, is this on?
Hey Hannah, I think you really can't beat a good rewatch of a TV show. Would you agree with that, love?
Oh, yes, I would.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think during, global pandemics, storms, all of these things, it's quite nice to just sit down and burn through something that you've seen a million times.
Absolutely, nothing like a binge watch.
Star Trek.
Babylon 5.
Because you could sit there for hours looking at serial killer documentaries.
Absolutely, that
Netflix.
doesn't make you a weird person at all.
It doesn't. Yeah, you could watch documentaries that all seem to be about women killing men.
Love you, darling.
You could put off watching Daredevil for the 30th time.
Harry Potter.
But really, you can't beat immersing yourself in the warm jumper of a rewatch of a show or a franchise.
Beloved franchise.
Lord of the Rings.
Twin Peaks. From VHS compilations recorded off television, with the ad breaks, cut out of course, to DVD box sets of Sex and the City and, I don't know, Smallville.
Farscape.
Quantum Leap. To giving up finding new content on Netflix and just having a comfort trawl through Star Trek The Next Generation or Parks and Recreation. I think that we can all agree.
There's a lot to be said for that.
You can't beat a good rewatch. So, with that in mind, join
Hannah
and Mike from Chinstroker vs. Punter as we burn through some of our favourite franchises and share our immediate reactions to each instalment in both spoiler and non-spoiler sections. To do that, do a search for the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whichever your favourite podcast provider may be, or go directly to anchor.fm/rewatch project. We are proud members of the Pod Syndicate family of podcasts.
100% natural.
How?
All the explanation you need. Uh-oh. No. No. Oh, whoa. What do you mean, no? You wanted this. You did this. This was your idea.
Yeah. It was a test. An experiment.
An experiment? You put me in a tiny mold, left me to bang my head till I nearly lost my searching for you as an experiment.
The exit's breaking down.
He hasn't taken the pill.
What? There's no time.
I know. He's having a moment.
Does he know how hard it was to hack that mirror?
Still open.
This can't be real.
Well, while Bex is returning, let's talk about a little film. Well, let's start talking about a little film called The Matrix Resurrections. The Matrix Resurrections, directed by Lana Wachowski and starring Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Jessica Henwick, Jonathan Groff, and the mighty Neil Patrick Harris. So, Thomas Anderson, Neo, Keanu Reeves, is back in The Matrix. This time, he is a video game designer who made a trilogy of video games called The Matrix. And his business partner, played by Jonathan Groff, has informed him that their parent company, Warner Brothers, will be making a fourth Matrix game with or without Thomas Anderson. At around this time, Bugs, played by Jessica Henwick, approaches Neo and informs him that actually the Matrix is real, and what he thought he designed is the thing that he's actually trapped in. So, let's start it off with Mark.
Hello.
So, 2022 is our 10-year anniversary year of Bastards.
It is,
Damn. And The Matrix is a series of films that has not really had that much kind of relevance in much of what we've talked about in the lifetime of the show. My memory of your thoughts on The Matrix films are meh. Is that right?
Yeah, the first one's good and good, but not as good as people would like to think it is. And the sequels are absolute car crashes.
Okay, yeah, and I don't know. It's interesting just to slightly pivot for a second. Did you guys rewatch the sequels before Resurrections?
You did, didn't you, Becky?
I did, yeah.
I don't ever need to see them again because I've seen them already at least twice, and why would I put myself through that again?
Yeah. I watched Reloaded and Revolutions back to back last Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's a lot of that.
That's 5 hours of going, ugh, I am dumber for watching those.
Yeah, because I mean, it's, you know, before we get to it, I mean, my just general thoughts on the sequels. I mean, the first one, absolute fucking masterpiece, still a 5 out of 5 banger for me. That film is amazing.
I don't dislike The Matrix, just to say that. I think it's a 4.5 out of 5 movie that I just think
it's at its time.
I don't think it hits as hard as I think it did at the time. It hasn't aged. It's just okay.
I disagree.
That's fine. Most people do.
And before I continue, San Miguel, there was a can of San Miguel left in the fridge from somebody bringing some over. San Miguel's not bad. I have underrated San Miguel. Anyway, The Matrix Reloaded, I think it's got some fucking incredible action, some really ropey CG, some really cool concepts, and I like The Matrix Reloaded. The Matrix Revolutions spends the thing that they done fucked up with the Matrix sequels is no one cares about Zion. Yeah, it's the real world. Looks a bit shit, and it's not that cinematic. No one really cares. The Matrix Revolutions, you got all that shit in Zion. It's like, yeah, but I want to see cool fighty shit in the Matrix. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Zion basically, it's like, wait a minute, is it a cave underground, or what the fuck is it? It looks shit.
I mean, that's the thing. The Matrix sequels basically say that Joey Pants was right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Bex, before we get into Resurrections, your thoughts on the second two?
Yeah, well, I mean, I spoke about it briefly last week. It is very much last week, whenever the fuck it was. It feels like ages ago.
Yeah.
It is very much diminishing returns, and I think it has it overcomplicates itself while not really wants to be really clever, but it's not really clever enough to either pull off what it's trying to achieve or explain adequately what it's trying to achieve. Programs are people and they can move around and blah, blah, blah. and you just accept it. And it's just a bit. They're just not. They're not as well written as the first one. I think the first one is why it stands up and why it's still good and why it still has the impact that it has is because it's horrifying in the simplicity of its idea.
It's tight. It is.
Yeah.
It's a tight film, whereas the other two feel
Bloated.
yeah.
But obviously, we're moving into doing Resurrections. It has a very unsatisfying ending when you follow two characters through 3 movies of them trying to do a thing, and then they both die.
The Trinity death in particular for me, like at least Neo, there's like a sacrificial element to it. Trinity, it's literally, she got us where Neo needed to go, and now she gets to have a nice long speech before she dies.
Yeah.
Which is it just that felt very really for that character. Yeah, no, absolutely. So, do you know what? Actually, I was gonna follow one with Mark, but now I'm gonna follow the Becky thread. So, do you feel like the Matrix Resurrections has done anything to course correct that central relationship?
Yeah, I feel like it feels like a movie that's been made by someone who's gone, we fucked up at the end there. We need to fix that. People wanted them to survive and people liked their relationship and then we just fucking killed them. But that's fucked up. Let's fix it. And that it essentially feels like the purpose of the movie. To me.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Sorry, Bex.
No,
I felt like I just cut you off there.
No. It's I think there's a lot of griping about it being, it isn't what the Matrix is supposed to be. It's just focuses on Trinity and Neo, and it's just a love story. I mean, there's a huge chunk of the first 3 movies that are just that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not exactly doing anything, out of the way of the Matrix by going in that direction with it. So yeah, I honestly don't get why people are so annoyed about it, to be honest.
No, it's fair. Mark?
I like the fact. Sorry, just before we move.
No, please.
I like the fact as well that there's no feeling that they're trying to set this up for a sequel.
Oh man, that's a great segue. So the question I was going to ask Mark.
Yes.
Do you feel this worked as an epilogue? Do you feel it worked as the first chapter for something new? Or did you just think it didn't work?
It probably works best as an epilogue. It doesn't work well as a new chapter. Because the most engaging the new characters, neither of them are bad, by the way. None of the new characters are bad. I actually think they're all quite well done, but I don't really care.
I don't think you meant to though.
About the new Morpheus, about Bugs. I don't want to see the continuing adventures of Neil Patrick Harris, the analyst. No. I didn't think any of these people were bad in it.
There was one person that was bad in it.
Who?
Objectively bad.
Who?
Niobe.
Well, I'll come to that.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, it's the... Weirdly, I don't even think the film itself is that interested in anything that's happening outside of the Trinity and Neo story. But I think that's kind of a detriment to the film in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I think it wants to do a thing, and it does that thing, but it doesn't really flesh out any of the other things that are peripheral. It wants to free Neo and Trinity again and have them alive. That's what the film wants to do. But by not fleshing out the characters around them.
So, 22 years ago now, is it? Matrix?
Wow.
Yeah.
22 years ago, The Matrix essentially, with, yes, a lot of help from Asian cinema of the 10 years before that, reinvented action cinema. By bringing in bullet time and wire work. And let's be honest, its imprint on action cinema lasted for a good 10, 12 years and still is around now in a little bit. It brought new methods in. It explored using CGI not just to create monsters but to use as background. And it did all that very well for action cinema.
See, this...
However, let's finish my point. So, why 22 years later is the action as poor as it is in Matrix Resurrections?
So, I have a... not a theory, because I was listening to another podcast and it was like, yeah, that makes sense. Simple answer. Keanu Reeves had a certain window for making this film before John Wick 4 started production.
I don't think it's that. I think it is.
Okay.
I think as a director, Lena Wachowski has not in any way moved forward in 22 years in terms of directing ability. I don't think as a director she's that interested in that aspect of directing. I think she's more story driven, which is fine, but the action did feel very much. It felt incredibly choreographed.
But
I don't think we've ever talked about Speed Racer. Sorry,
but Speed Racer was what? That must be getting on for 17 years ago.
No, it was 2008. I mean, it was okay. I mean, it was 13 years. You know, so it was a fair way away. But yeah. I honestly, I disagree with that. You know, I don't think. I think it comes down to a central problem of this film, that this film is more interested, and I say problem kind of almost in speech marks, but to an extent, where the film is more interested with the concepts that it's talking about and exploring more than it is actually providing you with something that you'd think you'd be going to with a Matrix film. And I think that is a problem, because it is a Matrix film. You can't bait and switch people like that. And for people to go, well, of course, yes, it's baiting and switching those people, because, how dare they expect a film like The Matrix in the new Matrix film? I think that there is an aspect of that is annoying. I don't think it was the key part of anyone involved in this film's thinking was, let's really go at it for the action.
Oh, no,
so
that's what I'm meaning. I don't think that Lena Wachowski is interested at all in the action. I think she's wanting to tell a story.
I think interested. No, I think to say that she hasn't developed her action filmmaking sensibility. Sorry, maybe it's just coming at these things from two slightly different angles, but meaning the same thing.
I think that's
to
close
say
to what it is.
That she hasn't grown in direction is the problem. For me, I don't think it's right. I think it's the fact that she wasn't bothered about it, but I'm also not saying that is a good thing.
I don't. In terms of a filmmaker, I don't think there's nothing that has been since they made The Matrix 22 years ago. Matrix Reloaded, Matrix Revolution, Speed Racer. I enjoy Speed Racer. I think it's a good film. I think it's an enjoyable film.
I love Speed Racer.
You love Speed Racer.
Dude, the things that Speed Racer is doing with visual stories.
But that's visual storytelling. That's not action filmmaking. That's not in terms of setting up action set pieces. That is.
There's a lot of action in that,
but it's very CG bouncing around. It's not like what they did with The Matrix. Is what I'm meaning. And then within this, you've got, for instance, it's on a train, isn't it? The fight scene, the big set piece, fight set piece they've got within it. That's on the train. There is so pedestrian in comparison to what some action cinema has done since. And what I meant was in terms of physical action cinema.
Okay, let me go at it from a slightly different angle, which maybe would illustrate my point. It's like, to be clear, I think we're kind of saying the same thing, but coming at it from different angles, like I said. But the action that Jessica Henwick gets, I think, is more choreographically involved than Keanu Reeves's is. And I think it's because she had more time to actually work on those sequences, and they tailored her sequences to more of the hand-to-handy kind of stuff, whereas Keanu Reeves basically gets a force push.
Yeah, which felt odd in the fact that he literally, all he did was just stop and face forward and hold his hands out.
Yeah, that was like a special move, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I think there are some fucking wanky people who are saying, well, that's a comment that the character is over the action of the Matrix, and that they're just like, oh, fuck it, I can't be bothered, boom, instead of doing all the choreography. No, honestly, I think the podcast I was listening to, where they were saying that the production schedules were quite close together, I think is fairly spot on. I think that he might have been doing a bit of pre-pro for John Wick 4 in amongst Matrix Resurrections. This is a film that feels like the stars aligned with scheduling and they were go, go, go. It feels like it needed more time to bake.
Yeah, I can see that, because it does feel a little bit undercut at points. For sure.
But, I don't know. I mean,
there is a worse bit in it, though.
Go on.
You mentioned it earlier, didn't you, Bex?
Go on.
The performance and deciding to cast Jada Pinkett Smith as her older self, and then have Jada Pinkett Smith turn up and essentially decide, I know what an old person is. They just hunch over and talk like this and walk a little bit slow. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk like this, and I'm going to walk slowly with a hunch.
Try the strawberry.
Try the strawberry. My hand is shaking because I'm old, you know. And it was like, I was watching it going, is this a Saturday Night Live or a Funny or Die sketch?
It was really bad.
It was appalling. And the fact that somebody can be sat there and going, it's a good idea, this. We fucking knocked out the part of this.
We have nailed this.
Yeah, somebody should have stopped her and gone, Jada, like what you're doing there, but could you do the fucking opposite?
But I mean, this is the thing. It's like, again, like the sequels, the worst bits, I mean, for me anyway, because I'm not going to fucking say that my word is God or anything, but for me, the worst bits of these fucking films are the real world stuff. You know, like in The Matrix in this film, you've got some really fun, playful shit, which doesn't work as well as the Matrix stuff in the original films. But Neil Patrick Harris talking about how he is now using bullet time against Neo, I think is fun.
I love that whole sequence in the workshop.
Yeah, I liked that sequence, and I thought Neil Patrick Harris as a on-the-face, benevolent, on the down low, devious fucking dickhead casting is perfect. And I think they've done a very nice job in the marketing here of downplaying his character's significance. And I think they do that in the film as well. Agent Smith is not the main threat of this film, and Jonathan Groff almost does a good... I'm almost purposefully not going to be as good as Hugo Weaving because I'm not as all-powerful as he was in those films. Or it could just be that Jonathan Groff isn't as good as Hugo Weaving. Either reading, I think, is correct. Or valid, at least. But everything in IO is fucking just kill me now. Like, I don't care. I do not care. This all looks really boring and no fun whatsoever. And yes, okay, there was a rave and people were plugging things into stuff, but aside from that, give me my steak. I want to be in the fucking... Like, in these films, I want to be in the Matrix. And when it's in the Matrix, I think this film is good. When it's outside of the Matrix, this film is actually pretty boring.
Well, I could agree with that, 'cause I was enjoying it and intrigued by it.
The setup is great, actually, from a storytelling point of view.
Up until about... up until the point where they get... Where they drag him into the Matrix. Where they pull him out of the... What is it? Out of the pod thing that he's in.
Yeah.
And then it goes off a fucking cliff. However, there was a few points where... Like the montage bit of them redoing the Matrix bit and brainstorming it. Way too fucking long. To basically go, let's just have this be the duration of White Rabbit. And then they're literally just repeating everything. And I get it, that's what they were going for, but it was just a little bit boring me. But the middle section of this movie is baggy as fuck. And frankly, boring. And then the payoff at the end is nowhere near worth the 40 minutes that you've sat through.
I disagree.
That's fine. I think it's one of those... I definitely think it's one of those where if it's got you, then you're going to enjoy bits of it. If it's not quite got you, you're going to be there going... I want something to happen now. And then when that thing is literally Keanu Reeves standing and pushing forward, you kind of going, I wanted something else to happen.
Because the thing is...
I wanted more John Gruff.
Smith?
Yeah.
I thought he was awful.
I thought it was fun.
The fact they kept calling him Tom really bothered me. Really bothered me. I mentioned to you right after we watched the film, didn't I?
Yeah.
I think that's supposed... Like, the thing is, again, I think that's kind of supposed to bother Neo.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a part of it that's needling him. Like, sorry.
I just wish at one point he'd called him Mr. Anderson.
Well, he does.
That's when he first sees him.
Mr. Anderson!
When he first comes out as Smith, he calls him Mr. Anderson.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does, yeah. 'Cause I thought it was a really good touch. But I thought he used that energy of essentially just going, I'm actually on no one's side here. Yeah. I'm just here to fuck around. And you know what? I'm not actually that angry with you anymore.
I've been muzzled by this fucker and I hate it.
Yeah.
So I might even help you.
He played it almost a little bit like the Matrix version of the Joker.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Like, he's going, do you know what? I might help you a little bit here. Why? I don't like him more than I like you, and I want to fight you more than I want to fight him. So I'm going to help you beat him, and then I'm going to fuck off, and then when you least expect it, I'm going to come out and tickle you. It's that element of it. And I quite liked that.
So, Bex, it feels like you were pretty positive on this then. The like that final kind of like half hour or so. I mean, like I thought it was a little bit. I get what they're going for, but Jesus fucking Christ, you could probably cut 10 minutes out of that swarm stuff and just got to the fucking monkey of Neo and Trinity up on the roof.
Yeah,
but it sounds like you were more into it.
Yeah, well, I think the swarm thing it's the big set piece, isn't it? So they have to give it time to breathe. I think it's quite fun to watch because it's like you can see it passing in waves through the people. So like the swarm kind of it stops being swarmy at this end because it's needed up there where they actually are. That chase scene's really good. Do you know what? I really liked it. I got enough out of it, and it corrects for me the unsatisfying ending to the trilogy. So
I'd agree it's better than the other two sequels.
I wish they'd done more with. I mean, Keanu Reeves is he's really good at action movies. It's kind of his thing. I wish they'd done more with him than just have him push air at stuff.
Yeah.
And I wish they'd gone with more practical choreographed stuff rather than bad CGI for the action. But I enjoyed my time with it, and I will watch it again.
Yeah, I mean,
He's sat there shaking his head.
No.
Absolutely not.
There's 4 Matrix movies. I might rewatch one of them.
The first one's an absolute banger.
But again, it's a little bit. I'm a little bit like that of going. I might rewatch it, but then again, do I need to?
I mean, you'd get to see Keanu Reeves sat in a bath with a rubber ducky on his head in context rather than just in the trailer.
Yeah.
When he's going through his existential crisis. I love the fact that they've gone, right, okay, he's like the one or whatever, so he's going to remember this if we don't make some kind of thing about it. Let him remember the story, but think it's like a fictional story and make it into a video game. Oh, that's a fucking banging idea.
Because that's the thing, I thought it was kind of interesting, like, how they brought them back.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting, where it was like, these two generate an absolute shitload of power when they're kind of like close to each other, but if they're touching each other, that's too much. So not only do we have to do that like in the real world when they're plugged in, but we also have to fabricate that within the world of the Matrix. And like the fact that Chad, her husband,
Chad,
is played by Chad Stahelski, the director of the John Wick films. I think that's fun. He's Chad, played by Chad Stahelski, who, in a lot of films, has directed Keanu Reeves in what to do on film, and now he's an element directing how Keanu Reeves is performing within Neo's Matrix world. You know, I just like there's things like that. They're just really fucking fun. And I think they almost front loaded that stuff a bit too much. Where the first 45 minutes, you've got the whole kind of like our parent company Warner Brothers is going to do this with or without you, which is like I don't know. I think that's it very much speaks to it being the same studio that a few months back did Space Jam: A New Legacy. You know, it's like they obviously don't care. They're just going to let people do it if they think it's going to make money. But that's the thing. I like how playful that is. And then that middle third, like Mark said, it's drudgery. Like, God, why do you care what fucking Niobe now thinks? And you're going to do this extended sequence where she sends him to jail, then he gets broken out of jail, and then she's like, actually, I'm kind of relieved that he's gone. Why'd you fucking put him in jail in the first... You know... But then the Neil Patrick Harris bullet time bit, and the idea at the end of... Okay, well, you know, the deal that is made of like, well, if I can convince her, then, you know, you'll let us be and blah blah blah. That's fun, and I like the last scene. You know, maybe not the fucking brass band cover of Wake Up.
Oh, it was fucking. That was bad.
That was fucking mental.
Just use Wake Up. Don't use a new version of it.
Yeah, but I mean, like the whole kind of like belittling of the analyst, and then like we're going to build the world in our way, and it's apparently Warners have already said yes, we will do a Matrix 5 with Lana Wachowski, And it's just, do you like losing money?
Yeah.
Like, Warner this year is like the plot of The Producers.
But it's you watch it going, I really hope you're making a lot on HBO Max.
No, but I mean, because this is the thing, though. It's like all these decisions that you know, and the bridge burning that they've been doing so much that Nolan fucks off to work with Universal on the next one because they'll give him these guarantees. It is like, right, is there some sort of weird tax write-off shit where you make more money if these combined films lose a combined amount of X amount of money because there's some sort of bizarre insurance policy that kicks in? But they didn't think, when the insurance policy was written up, they didn't write into there that you couldn't day and date it on a streaming service. So it's like, well, shit, we'll do that, but we'll also release things in cinemas so that we're fitting that contractual obligation. But then the films are going to lose so much money because they're also day and date and piracy that the insurance policy will then kick in, and then we'll make even more. It's like that. But with Matrix 5, stop it. Fucking leave it alone. You didn't even get away with it on Matrix Resurrections because people generally don't like it and it's going to lose money. Why would you do another one? And I liked the film. And I'm saying, just fucking stop.
I'm reading here, apparently it was the thing is, with it, they've clearly gone, we want to essentially get people to subscribe to HBO Max. And they're clearly banking on the fact that they've gone, right, we're going to offset some of what we've spent here. Rather than making new content for HBO Max, we're going to use our existing backlog of content to kind of get people to sign up, because the accountants have clearly gone, look, streaming, you need to get these numbers up, because at the moment Netflix still has such a huge share of the streaming market, and Disney Plus is doing very, very well, but that's still around about half of what Netflix has got, and HBO Max is about half of what Disney Plus has got. But I was reading a thing earlier that was saying that apparently that since its release, The Matrix Resurrections has made up 33% of all torrents.
Oh, really?
But why? I mean, that's the thing. Why? Yeah, and I mean, like, Warners have said that next year their theatrically released stuff will have a 45-day window, which is now the standard, and Batman's going to have that, and it will make that much more. And this is the thing. It's because these streamers don't tend to release numbers. Films are still seen as bombs unless they go only on the streamer, and they're not going to do that because they're not going to make money. But The Matrix Resurrections made, I think, $22 million over 5 days last weekend in the US. It was they were expecting, like, Warner were like, we will do 40, like that's a comfortable number, and it shit the bed. And it's the piracy, but to be fair, it's also the poor reviews. And what has happened here is another example of the fucking typical thing of, you've got initial reviews come out, they're really positive, and then there's a backlash to that, and then there's a backlash to the backlash. But the backlash to the backlash happens after the opening weekend. So, but then, to be fair, then don't look up, just ate up all the film Twitter discourse. And now no one's talking about Matrix Resurrections. It's in the fucking rear view.
Yeah. But I think that's because it was just a little bit... it was just a little bit underwhelming.
I mean, the thing is, as much as I'm saying, please don't make another one, I liked it. And I think I've been kind of defending it a fair bit, but fuck me. There's problems with this film, and I was really, really, really looking forward to it, and seriously, everything until Neo is on that roof and Bugs comes to him, I was just, yeah, I'm in. I'm really, really in. Like the Morpheus stuff. We haven't even talked about Yahya Abdul-Mateen. The Morpheus stuff at first is fucking fascinating. The whole he's an agent, but then he kind of remembers who he is, but then he's a program basically trapped in here by Neo. And I thought it was going to turn out that I was kind of surprised he didn't. This Morpheus was going to be a bad guy who was pissed off about the way that he was treated by Neo. But then that doesn't happen, even though, you know, he does kind of like reference the fact that he was stuck in that simulation for years. And I thought Yahya Abdul-Mateen was fine, but could you really not have got Lawrence Fishburne back for that? Okay, there's one fight scene that Lawrence Fishburne these days probably couldn't do. But for most of the rest of it, he's a fucking CG bubbly man.
Yeah, the what did you think, Becky, to the CG, the essentially like the bubble mouths?
The physical manifestations of the programs when they exit the Matrix.
That they can seemingly just fucking go anywhere and do anything.
Yeah, see, that's one of those ones where they've gone, but what do the programs do if they get freed from the Matrix? I don't know, let's make them nanotech.
Yeah.
That'll work.
They're
That'll
basically
make absolute sense.
Yeah, they're basically in an old packet of Maltesers and they can just fucking do whatever they want.
Yeah.
That was a little bit like...
It's a bit of a stretch, that
It was the Wizards did it of the thing.
It was, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Where were you with it then, Bex? Are you definitely
not shit, yeah.
Where are you with it, Ian?
I'm definitely not shit. It's got some... I don't know. If they were to do a Matrix 5 and they just go in the marketing, fuck all action here, but we're going to have some fun with the theoretical stuff, I'd be like, yeah, let's fucking go.
I would be, but then I would be saying, all right, but why is it costing $200 million?
No, but I mean, that's it. You do one that's like $50 million, and it looks really good. I will say, I fucking loved the cinematography of this. I thought the Matrix world just had this hyper-real kind of vivid quality to it that some people seem to have been pushing back against, but I was fucking heavy in. Yeah, I thought it looked great.
It made sense for the for what it was going for. It was definitely a stylistic choice to have it look like that.
Yeah.
To have it look so high def.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
To have the whole thing look like somebody who really knew what he was doing was setting the TVs up at a PC world.
Yeah, no, exactly. It was just like it was the vivid display, like on the TVs. So yeah, no, I mean, definitely not shit. I think the people who have been like really, 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 really praising it and having a go at people who have been criticising it maybe need to check themselves before they wreck themselves.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think people going, it's not my Matrix sequel. Also, nah, mate. Just because the action isn't as good, it's still in like theory point of view, very, very in the world of the Matrix, and I dug that.
It absolutely felt like a Matrix movie.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
without question. I'm touching cloth on it. Just because I don't think it's shit, but I also don't think it's definitely not shit, so I am absolutely the definition of touching cloth on it. But what I will say is I am really glad that some people have really clicked with it. And that's really... I like the fact that some people have got on with it. And I like the fact that I got to come in and didn't objectively say, yeah, it's shit. Because it could have been just shit.
I really, really hope they don't make another one, though. It's a good end to that saga.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's a better end than Revolution. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. And they can fly around, changing shit because they're kind of holding all the cards. I don't want to see what changes they make. I'm happy with where it's at.
Yep.
Great stuff.
Audience poll.
Cool.
Ooh, audience poll. I had that a second ago.
Oh, yeah, good point.
I had it a second ago. Why am I on this? Why am I looking at this? And then I went off it. Audience poll. I didn't do audience poll for Kingsman either, did I?
No.
Our audience poll for the Kingsman was 60% definitely not shit, 20% touching cloth, and 20% shit. our audience poll for The Matrix is 39% definitely not shit, 22% touching cloth, 33% shit, and 6% Geostorm.
That's all over the place, that.
It is, isn't it?
Sorry, the dog is looking at me and wagging her tail, but won't come over so that I can stroke her. What are you doing? Go on then, bugger off. All right, fine. Right, sorry. Mark.
Yes.
Becky, what the fuck have you been watching, you cunts?
What have you been watching? What have you been watching solo? I've been watching things solo. So do my solos first. You do your solos, then we do our joints.
Yeah.
I watched Noelle, the Disney Plus Disney.
Oh shit, the Anna Kendrick one.
Yeah, the Christmas movie they launched with, and then didn't launch at Christmas in the UK, and I didn't get to it last year, so I watched it this year. So for those of you who haven't watched it or don't know what it's about, essentially Anna Kendrick and Bill Hader play Santa's children in the North Pole. Santa has died, so Bill Hader's character is becoming Santa, and it's about to be his first Christmas. But what do you know? He doesn't really get on with being Santa. He just wants to be a yoga teacher, so he ends up in, I believe it's like Connecticut or somewhere like that.
Something like that.
Trying to work at a yoga retreat. Anna Kendrick's Noelle, who really likes Christmas and be really good at all this bit, but you know, she's a girl, goes to find him, to bring him back, because Billy Eichner's cousin essentially is wanting to just like fucking do prime orders for good kids. That is genuinely the story of this movie. Okay. It's okay as a fairly throwaway Christmas movie, but it suffers from being 10 minutes too fucking long, that just ends up dragging you out of it far too much. And as always with Anna Kendrick, she's not as adorable as people think she is when she has a constant background whiff of I'm better than you.
Yes.
That comes across in this. It's a lot more fun when Bill Hader's on screen, and Bill Hader's hardly ever on screen, is what I would say about Noelle. I think all of the other ones, with the exception of one, we watched together, Bex. So I'm going to take you on a little journey that's going to show that how this isn't even about the film as much, but it's going to tell you how much of a wonderful person I am.
Okay.
Bex, where did I watch this movie?
Oh, yeah.
So it was Bex. It was your Christmas meal, wasn't it?
Yes.
And it was in Leeds.
Yes.
And so you wanted to have a drink, didn't you?
I wanted to be able to have a drink, yeah.
You wanted to be able to have a drink and not have to worry about driving, didn't you?
Yes.
So I said to Bex, all right, I'll drive you there.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, Mark did something that I fucking wouldn't do.
Yeah, so I drove...
So, Bex, yeah. I hope you've thanked him.
Adequately compensated him.
Yeah, so I drove, and my plan was to go to Trinity and have something to eat at Trinity, which is a shopping centre in Leeds that has a good street food bit. Have something to eat there and chill out while you had your meal. Yeah, it's closed when I got there. Yeah. So what I did instead was I went and got a Five Guys and then sat in the back of my car in an outdoor NCP car park, using my jacket as a blanket, and ate my Five Guys in the back of the car whilst watching The Drop on my iPad.
It is fucking wild that you paid to go in an NCP car park and then didn't leave your car. Or it stayed in your car for most of the time.
Yeah.
Top banana. Well done.
Yeah. So I rewatched The Drop. The Drop is it's only the third time I've watched it. I watched it in the cinema and I watched it with Ubex, I believe, when it came out on home release.
Okay.
So it's been like a good 5 or 6 years since I watched it. I don't think this movie gets talked about enough.
Good movie.
I really enjoyed it at the time. I thought it was a very good small town story. It has gone up even more in my estimations here. It is a fantastic, still small town story, but there's more. Hardy is doing so much with this character. That is of Bob, that is supposed to be this hapless guy that is just, he's always there, and James Gandolfini essentially it's seeming he's just taking a little bit advantage of him, but everybody seems to know there's something going on there. And then you've got Matthias Schoenaerts, who essentially is using this this murder that's happened to build his reputation, and everybody keeps on just saying to Tom Hardy's character, to Bob, you know that he killed Glory Days, this guy, and he's like, yeah, and they keep saying it, and then it comes out at the end of it. And the thing is, when you first watch it, you get to the end and you go, oh fuck, he knew all along that he didn't kill him because he fucking killed him. When you rewatch it, you're watching him going, yeah, I should be scared then, shouldn't I? Yeah, oh yeah, he's crazy. But knowing that he fucking knows it's all bollocks. And it's just that it's the other way around. It's honestly, for people out there who watched it and enjoyed it, go back to it. Watch it knowing the fucking ending.
Yeah.
Because there's a rewatch ability within it. It really is. And James Gandolfini, I think it's the second to last movie he made. He's doing an awful lot more in this than you remember. He's in it an awful lot more. It really is a fantastic movie. I really, really enjoyed rewatching it. Bex, what did you watch on your own? And then we'll probably speed round a lot of these because they are general Christmas ones that we watch every year.
Yeah, okay. So on my own, I watched The Polar Express. Creepy but fun. I watched Scrooged. Everyone's seen Scrooged. I don't need to say an awful lot about that. But it's fucking great. You never want to watch Scrooged, do you, around Christmas? It's crazy.
I like Scrooged, but I have seen it enough.
Yeah.
I watch Scrooged every Christmas and it never gets old.
Yeah, same.
It could be one of those. It started to get old a couple of years ago for me, so I decided to take it out of my rotation, and I will just dip in every few years.
Just the bit where he's at the homeless shelter and those bums think he's Richard Burton.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
It's fucking incredible every time.
The thing is, though, I would be waiting for that moment, and then after that moment happened, I'd be thinking it's all downhill for me.
Oh, but at the start, you've got the night the reindeer died,
and at the end, you have got Bobcat Goldthwait going crazy. I need to rewatch it next year. Yeah, fuck me.
You're an idiot. The second best Christmas movie, Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah, I will not rewatch that.
No.
Hell yeah, watch that as well. This is good. We're getting through some of what we've been watching too.
I just love how fucking straight Michael Caine plays it. It's a delight to watch him just playing like this completely stony faced take on Scrooge. When there's just Muppets rampaging around. It's great.
Do you know, the one bit that I noticed that I know I've heard before, but it really made me laugh this time, was somebody mentions about like having a plump goose, and then Gonzo's just like, lucky him. And it's just such a fucking great, weird fucking line.
Oh, dear.
Gonzo's a freak, and I love him.
Gonzo is a freak. Okay, I watched... Okay, I'll group these. Star Wars, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. Mainly just because I wanted to watch The Rise of Skywalker again. But it did make me appreciate the other two more. I wasn't super keen on Force Awakens first time round. And I really enjoyed it this time. Last Jedi, when you watch them in a group like that, is tonally completely out of whack. I can understand why people are a bit like, nah, about The Last Jedi. It's good and I enjoy it, but tonally it's just wrong for that trilogy. And
almost if it was directed by somebody else.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. But then why
Yeah, let's not get into that.
Because they basically went, each director is going to be able to tell the story they want to tell, instead of going, here's the through line, like, here's the start point, here's the middle, here's the end. You need to make sure that these beats are addressed. It's like Marvel, like Taika Waititi with Thor Ragnarok. That's his film, but at the same time, he's doing things in there that Marvel are telling him to do.
Yeah, he's got a brief within the brief.
Yeah, with The Last Jedi, they were like, right, yeah, Rian Johnson, do what you want to do. And then they said that to Colin Trevorrow before they were like, fuck, we can't have Colin Trevorrow. And then you get J.J. Abrams back, who then sees The Last Jedi as a reaction to The Force Awakens, and then goes, okay, well, I'm gonna do this as a reaction to that. You know, if any other filmmaker other than J.J. Abrams directed The Rise of Skywalker, you would have, I think you would have 3 films that feel different. But, and like you say, Mark, it is as obvious as it's directed by the same guy. But The Last Jedi is so out of whack with The Force Awakens that it almost makes J.J. Abrams double down and do dumb shit like somehow Palpatine returned.
I fucking love
Which
Rise
is a
of
line
Skywalker.
in the fucking film. Sorry.
I love Rise of Skywalker. I don't care.
He will love it. Is it your second favourite Star Wars?
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
That, what, of all of them?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Righto.
I really like it. I think it gets the emotional beats right. I think it is a good story. I think it course corrects well from The Last Jedi.
We were having a conversation with this, weren't we, the other day, and I decided that there is only one Star Wars movie that is above a 7 out of 10.
Last Jedi?
No.
What?
Rogue One.
Rogue One's fine.
Oh, okay, well that's fine. That's fair enough.
Yeah, he's the only, and I don't think there's that many that are above a 6.
I mean, the thing is though, Bex. I mean, like Last Jedi, I get what you're saying, because it is just like what is it? Because that was my reaction the first time round. You know, like I was really shitty about The Last Jedi on first watch. And I'm not saying you're being really shitty about it. To be clear, I'm just like I think I had the stereotypical reaction to it of, well, this isn't my Star Wars. You know, and I mean. You know, I will say the joke at the start about being put on hold. Nah, I will. The smallest hill on which I will die is that makes no sense.
It's quite funny though.
Yeah, people don't get put on hold in Star Wars. It's such an inane, everyday concept that you do not. Being put on hold is something that people in the Star Wars universe never, ever, ever did. Because they've got lightsabers.
But like on a practical level, if you're trying to reach a specific person, then
I will guarantee you people got put on hold in the middle trilogy. Because that was just all about fucking trade talks and shit like that, wasn't it?
The prequels, yeah, they were definitely on hold. They were sending faxes.
No. Any society that has lightsabers doesn't have hold music.
But they don't all have lightsabers. Like there's there's weird little poor planets. I mean, look at like
the concept of lightsabers, Bex. Any society that's developed lightsabers does not have hold music. There's another way, or holds in general. There's another way of doing these things. They have thought about the concept of people being on hold and what to do in that situation before they thought, let's make lightsabers.
So do they do the whole like press 5 if you want a callback thing instead?
They have a very, very smart IVR, is what they have, yes. That's exactly what they do. They have call queuing and it says, we will call you back. That, Becky, you have just solved it. I have been annoyed about that for now over 4 years because time is a flat circle and we're all going to be dead soon. How the fuck is like Last Jedi 4 years old? But you are right. That is exactly it. It's not that they don't have holds, is that they have thought of something better than hold, and that is press 5 for a callback.
The thing is,
you nailed it.
After all these years, now
Last Jedi 1 out of 5. Fuck Ryan Johnson.
Now, I actually thought for the first time that argument has made me go, fucking hell, Ian's right about the whole thing.
But Bex just unlocked it. Bex, bless you. Steve, I need you to, and no, anyone, I need feedback on this. I think Becky has unlocked it. Donna was doing stuff behind me that entire time. And I think she thinks I'm a fucking psycho. But, god damn, that's exactly what it is, though. That's exactly what it is. They'd have something better.
What else have you been watching, Bex?
On my own, I watched 1408.
Yep.
1408 is fucking bonkers.
It's bonkers, yes.
It's just, yeah, it's mad. Man gets trapped in a room, gets told he can either relive, like, shit for eternity or kill himself, and decides to set fire to the room.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but loads of crazy shit happens along the way. I got to 8-Bit Christmas. Yeah, I really liked it for the most part. I just didn't like the dad dying bit. It made me sad.
But the film's good, though, isn't it?
The film is good, and it's got a real
nice energy to it.
It's got a Diary of a Wimpy Kid kind of vibe, where it's like, it's well-meaning enough, but it's snarky enough to also be kind of funny. Yeah, not particularly Christmassy film, though. It's about a kid trying to get a Nintendo for Christmas, but it's not Christmassy feeling, if that makes sense. I watched Fat Man.
Yep.
I really like Fat Man. I don't understand why you're so cool on Fat Man.
I enjoyed it when I watched it. It's another one of those ones that I only watched it last year. I didn't watch it again.
It's just a real interesting kind of take on it.
Yeah,
like if Santa is real, that's probably like, you'd have to worry about like quotas and money and shit like that, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
And the elves would all eat sugar. And
I forgot about the sugar elves.
Last one I watched on my own was Death on the Nile, the Peter Ustinov 1978 one. The very, very horny Angela Lansbury in it.
I thought you were going to say that you had an advanced screening as like recompense for Armie Hammer trying to eat your arm once.
No. The original's really fucking good, actually. I mean, the thing is, it's the story that stands up, and the Agatha Christie stories, if they're adapted well, they work well.
Yeah.
And they don't really age. That's kind of the beauty of her stories. But yeah, some really good performance in it. Ustinov's great. Mia Farrow's in it. Like I say, Angela Lansbury's in it. Betty Davis is in it. So yeah, it's quite a stacked cast, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good fun.
So,
it's on BBC iPlayer if anyone wants to check it out before the new one comes out.
Nice. Apparently, Kingsman Golden Circle is on all 4.
Cool.
Non-Christmas movie, Becky. We watched Ghost Ship, didn't we?
Yeah,
we needed a little bit of a.
We needed a break.
We needed a break from Christmas.
Christmas cheer. And I wanted something spooky.
Yeah, because we brought the rule we usually have, didn't we, this year? Usually we have a rule where Christmas movies can go between the 1st of December and the 25th of December. Then after that, they're gone. But we had a rocky, didn't we? Nothing bad happened or anything like that, but we just didn't have as much time as we thought we were going to have between.
And a severe lack of festive cheer, to be honest.
And a little bit like a festive cheer. So we decided to extend it for a few days, didn't we? Afterwards,
we decided to include Twixmas in the mix.
We did just to help ourselves. But we watched Ghost Ship. Ghost Ship's fun.
I love Ghost Ship.
I love Ghost Ship. It's fun. But then we did our Christmas roundups, didn't we? So we did Die Hard.
Yeah, we did.
It's fucking brilliant.
It is true though. Once you've noticed the feet thing, you can't unsee it.
The feet thing, yeah, I know
Yeah.
you can't. What I will say is, and it's a piece of discourse that we need to stop now. Every year, we need to stop the is Die Hard a Christmas movie thing. It's boring. It is a Christmas movie. It references Christmas many, many times during it.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally finishes on a Christmas song. So it's a Christmas movie. Just move on.
That's it, but do you know what? If
I
you're
also
out...
watched Die Hard and I agree, sorry.
Yeah. The beauty of Die Hard, though, that stops it from just being a generic action movie set is the littler moments within it. So the moments like when you've got John McClane and it is Al, isn't it? Yeah, Al. Yeah. Talking and just chatting. And so like one of I think the best moments in it is where John McClane's just had like a big fucking nearly got blown up and everything everything's going on and he's trying to say, look, I did everything I could, and then he's basically talking to Alan saying, "Look, why are you all fucking? Why are you stuck behind a desk? What's going on?" And he has to admit, "What is it?" And John McClane's going, "Look, I feel like shit. I'm sorry." He's like, "Well, how would you know?" He's like, "Yeah, I still feel like fucking shit." It's those little moments within the movie.
The thing I would say about
elevate it,
yeah,
to being it's not just a 4-star action movie. It's a 5-star. This is a fucking classic of the genre.
You do also get Bonnie Bedelia punching that one bad dickhead at the end.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I would say on the whole is Die Hard a Christmas movie thing, yeah, it is to me. Yeah, it is to you. Yeah, it is to Ian. Yeah, it is to a lot of people. But if it just doesn't feel Christmassy to you, I don't see why it has to be a fucking knives out argument every year on Twitter.
If someone wants to watch fucking Die Hard in the middle of June, I'm fine with that.
Oh, yeah. No, but what I'm saying is I don't see why it...
That's why people make that much of a big deal of it.
No.
Because the discourse is toxic and everyone actually hates each other and the human being isn't actually supposed to be social.
Yep.
It's a damning... The Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie thing. It's a damning indictment of society.
And I agree with you on that. Do you know what's another damning indictment of society? The fact that still, 25 years later... people are still saying that Jingle All the Way is not a fucking great movie. And it is. I fucking love this movie.
It is good fun.
It's great.
It is.
It's fantastic.
It's usually our Christmas Eve morning movie, isn't it?
It is, but it became my Christmas Day morning movie this year, didn't it?
It did.
Because we had shit to do Christmas Eve. I love Jingle All the Way. I think it's fantastic. And I'm not in it's so bad it's good. I genuinely think it's a good movie.
God, I've got a few to get through.
We also did Home Alone, didn't we?
Yep. I didn't cry this time.
No, you didn't. She's dead inside. What I will say here is, I'm not going to do the usual Home Alone things. Home Alone thing is fantastic. Macaulay Culkin is adorable. That's what makes it. He's charismatic. He can carry a movie despite the fact that he's like 8. And it's a lot of fun, and it's not nasty or overblown like the ones that would come after it.
Yeah.
But the thing that we should start focusing on is, seriously, guys, how fucking hot is Catherine O'Hara at this point in her career?
I mean, yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, as well,
yeah.
I'm going to argue and say that I think Home Alone is John Williams' best score.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's good.
I think it's fantastic. We also did It's a Wonderful Life.
I did cry at this one.
Yep, which we do every Christmas Eve, every year. It's fucking brilliant. It's a Wonderful Life. It genuinely is in my top 10 films of all time.
Do you know what? Part of me is curious to watch the colourised version, but I never will.
Oh, shit.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, of course I have.
Every year, though, it makes me just want to go, I'm going to watch all of the Jimmy Stewart movies. All of them.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
We watched and might be entering our rotation, I think, now, don't you?
We did, but we watched it with an extra audience member this year, didn't we?
Yes, Isabel watched it with us, didn't she?
Yeah, she didn't watch it with us last year.
Yeah. So watch The Happiest Season. Or, what did you keep calling it, Becky?
That one lesbian
Christmas movie from last year. I like The Happiest Season. I think it's a fun movie. I don't think that Kristen Stewart should have ended up with Mackenzie Davis at the end. Mackenzie Davis is trash.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Isabel's take on it was, Harper's a dickhead. I ship... What's Aubrey Plaza's name?
Mackenzie Davis?
No.
Riley Johnson.
Riley. I ship Riley and Abby way more than
Harper and Abby. Yeah.
Which one's... Oh, God, who's the other... So it's Mackenzie Davis, Kristen Stewart, and who's the other... the ex?
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all love Jane, obviously.
Jane's fantastic in it. Yeah, Jane, Mary Holland, is very fun in it. Still holds up. Dan Levy annoyed me a little bit.
I love Dan
within
Levy.
it. He's playing it to Dan Levy, but then when he does get to give the speech bit, he's perfect.
Yeah.
His delivery of the not everyone's coming out is the same. He's absolutely perfect, and he nails all of that.
Yeah.
It's really, really well done and a really well delivered little speech. I very much enjoyed our rewatch of that. And then, Krampus. We also watched Krampus, The Naughty Cut.
Fucking Krampus.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I love this film.
So, Ian, you also watched The Naughty Cut, didn't you?
Hell yeah.
What did you make to it?
It was Krampus, but with a bit more swearing and a couple extra scenes. I fucking love Krampus.
Yep.
Krampus rules. Krampus is fucking nasty.
Yep, it is.
And it's great. And it's the absolute antidote to every single fucking other Christmas film that you watch this side of Black Christmas.
Yep.
It's wonderful.
But still feels Christmassy.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It still feels really Christmassy. The extra scenes that are in it, one of the most noticed ones isn't even anything extra that's more violent or anything like that. It's just an interaction between the two sisters.
Yeah.
But that does flesh out that a little bit more. And I thought it was really quite... I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it is. It's a good cut.
And Krampus is just fucking brilliant. Yeah. I do feel like... I every year that goes by, because we've pretty much watched it every 23rd of December since it came out.
Yeah.
The more it goes by, I do keep thinking, at what point is this gonna start to be recognised like Gremlins is as a seasonal classic?
I think it's starting.
I think it's starting. I think it will get there.
Yeah.
Ian, what have you been watching?
Hoy, boy howdy. Right, what have I been watching? I need to filter the ones that we've already talked about. Bear with. Please hold. Please hold.
I'm just going to press 5.
Christmas Vacation. Did you guys just talk about Christmas Vacation?
No, we watched it earlier. We watched it. We talked about last week. Yeah.
You usually watch it twice, though, don't you?
Yeah, we do, but we didn't get chance yet.
Fuck. Okay, that's why I thought you might have talked about it. So at least I'm not gone mad. Christmas. It's Christmas Vacation. The shit was full. What else can I say? For some fucking reason, I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox.
All right.
It was on Netflix. On Monday, I was just scrolling through Netflix, and I was like, Fantastic Mr. Fox, I can watch this in front of lots. And I ended up watching the entire fucking thing. I really like the Fantastic Mr. Fox. I think it's brilliant. It's not for kids at all, and I don't care. It's just... I think it's got some fucking great dialogue in it, and it's short enough as well. But yeah.
My weirdness with Fantastic Mr. Fox is I watched it the first time I watched it, I loved it, and then the second time I watched it, I fucking hated it. So at some point I might do a rewatch of it to see where I land on the second one, on the third one.
That's the bit. It goes up in my estimation every time, but yeah, weird. I watched Tokyo Godfathers, the Satoshi Kon Christmas film. I actually did a review of it for Godzilla. Brilliant fucking film. You guys have you seen Tokyo Godfathers?
I have, yeah, a long while ago though.
That's a fucking good one to add in the Christmas rotation.
I don't know why I've never rewatched that. I watched it like 2005 or something like that.
it's very, very Christmas feeling while not really being Christmassy.
Yeah. That's going to get watched next Christmas.
Yeah, nice. Rewatched The Mitchells versus the Machines. Donna was out on Boxing Day night, and Lots and I were just looking for something to watch, and we stuck this on, and yeah, I mean, I actually think it got better on rewatch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking funny shit in that film, and I think I missed some of it first time round. Good fucking movie. Really good movie. So yeah, actually, last one from me. So I'll spend a bit of time on this. So, as referenced earlier, Aaron Sorkin's new film being The Ricardos, which is on Amazon Prime. Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball and Javier Bardem as Desi Arnaz. And this chronicles a week. I'd be stunned if this all actually happened in a week in real life, and I've got a feeling didn't, but I'd be happily told wrong. I'm not going to call myself an authority. But basically, Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz are the real-life couple who created I Love Lucy. They are riding high. They're like the most popular show in America. At the start of the week, a radio broadcast ends with a revelation that Lucille Ball is a registered communist. You know, it's the time of McCarthyism or whatnot. So that's the start of the week. But within that week, other things come about as well. Revelations about the two of them's individual history and history with each other. And then at the end of the week, they have to tape an episode of I Love Lucy in front of a live audience. And what are the audience going to think of her after the events of that week? This feels like, well, actually, it was a kind of a theory of mine that I had somewhat validated, where this felt like a film that, again, like Matrix Resurrections, it was like the stars aligned and they were like, go, go, go. And I was reading an interview with Nicole Kidman the other day where she was saying that she was like a bit apprehensive about taking on the role. But then Amazon were basically, here's the window to do the film now. What do you think? And she went for it. And I in a way, I think that actually does say something about the film, where it feels like Sorkin probably needed a bit more time to work on it. It's got lots of Sorkin dialogue, and to be fair, there's there's some modern language in the film that some people on Twitter have been commenting on. There's a scene in it where Nicole Kidman tells Javier Bardem to stop gaslighting her. There's no way that was a term being thrown around at that time. That very much feels like a term that has become common parlance literally in the last few years. And it does take you out of it. I would argue that there's enough dialogue in there which is really sparky and fun and witty that I think it makes up for it. But those who have had disparaging comments about the film for that, I think absolutely fair enough. A bigger problem with it for me is that it feels very unfocused.
Weirdly, I read a thing about the gaslighting thing. Sorry to just bump in there quickly. The first time that apparently gaslighting was used in any kind of psychological way was in like the late 80s. And it didn't become like a parlance that was used until sort of like the mid-90s.
Yeah.
So yeah, using it in a show that was supposed to be set in the 50s.
Yeah,
Gaslight the book only came out in mid 40s, something like that.
Yeah.
No, exactly. But yeah, it feels unfocused, much like me on this podcast today. It feels like Sorkin had quite a lot of stuff to say, didn't really decide what was the most important, and there's a narrative device used in it where it's flashing. It's like it's done as a documentary with interviews with people in the Javier Bardem, Nicole Kidman timeline, but now older. So it's like Ronnie Cox plays an older version of, I think, Jake Lacey, which is weird. And they're talking now about these events, but it's not the real people. It's actors playing the real people who were played by actors in the past. And it's like, what? Why are you doing this? And, it frankly, it feels like, because doing it that way, they're able to give context to things that couldn't really, Sorkin just didn't have enough time to work out how to make it be given context in the old timeline without it feeling wonky, and he just went, fuck it, I'm just going to do this. But, saying all that, I enjoyed it. And I think if Kidman and Bardem got Oscar nominations, I'd be absolutely fine with it. Wins, I'd have to see who they were up against, but I think them being in the conversations, I think would be absolutely fair enough. I Love Lucy's never been much of a thing over here, so apparently, you've got a Spanish man playing a Cuban, which is a problem, and you've got Kidman playing Lucille Ball, and apparently, not really looking or sounding too much like her. I don't have that perspective, so I am kind of just judging it on this, and I thought they were fine. I thought Nicole Kidman, she's like headstrong and spunky but vulnerable. Javier Bardem, it's interesting. Somebody in the film says that he's Cuban. There's kind of only one way to be a man in that kind of bringing up. And I think that he plays that, but also playing the respecting the fuck out of Lucille Ball as well. But also having manly predilections at mind as well. But I thought he was good. It's manly. I mean, just like fucking dick controlling head. That is that manly to an extent, but not the be all and end all. But yeah, being the Ricardos, it's entertaining. I thought it was charming. I thought it was funny. It is definitely not Aaron Sorkin's best directorial effort in terms of him in the driver's seat. It's worse than Molly's Game and Trial of the Chicago 7, but I really liked those films, and I liked this film enough. So, solid 4 out of 5. I thought it was a good couple hours. Also, J.K. Simmons is fucking great. He's really, really fun. Proper supporting part, but he's really, really fun. He's got layers as well. So, yeah, being the Ricardos, I recommend it. People have been quite sniffy about it, and I was a bit, let's see what this is then going in, but I had a good time.
Nice. We'll get to that fairly soon, won't we, Bet?
Yeah, I think they'll be getting awards attention as well. I do. Especially, like Javier Bardem, I thought he had a real tightrope. And it's hard to say without kind of spoiling it as to what I mean there. But I thought his character was really interesting, and I thought it was really well played. Kidman's very good as well. Like, don't get me wrong, but Bardem was the one who really stuck out to me here.
اگر با خودتون هستین لطفاً همدیگر رو Okay, here we go, everyone. Let's stay sharp.
I just want you to know, this is the most propulsive thing that's ever happened to me. Thank you.
What's the holdup, guys? What are you waiting on? Come on, motherfuckers, let's light this fucking firecracker, huh? Think I got all day?
Commander Drask, this is your president speaking. Your nation thanks you. Your planet thanks you. And God and I thank you.
Listen, the only thanks I need is a shot of Jack Daniels. And a couple of DUIs to magically go away.
I'm gonna go get another beer, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm gonna need it for this one. If you guys are staying, if somebody wants to start outlining Don't Look Up, please feel free.
Okay. Bex. Start outlining Don't Look Up.
Absolutely not.
I'll do it. So, Don't Look Up is co-written by David Sarita and Adam McKay. Screenplay by Adam McKay, and Adam McKay directs. Who's in it? Well, who's not in it? But who is in it, though, seriously? Jennifer Lawrence is there. Leonardo DiCaprio is there. Kate Blanchett is there. Meryl Streep is there. Jonah Hill's there. Tyler Perry, Mark Rylance, Timmy Chalamet is there. Ron Perlman turns up.
Did you just call Timothy Chalamet Timmy Chalamet?
Yeah. Hamish Patel's there. Melanie Linsky's there. Michael Chiklis is there.
I love how you skimmed over Ariana Grande.
I'm going back to Ariana Grande. She's there as well. And you know, there's other people are also in it, but because we don't recognise them immediately, they fucking might as well be fucking paintings, pricks. What is it the story of? What the fuck is it the story of? Well, let's find out. Let's see what IMDb says, because that's how I get these things, so I don't end up confusing myself while I'm talking. Don't Look Up. It is... 2 low-level astronomers must go on a giant meteor tour to warn mankind of an approaching comet that will destroy planet Earth. I mean, I think we can flesh that out a little bit. Here's another one. Kate Dibiaski, an astronomer grad student, and her professor, Dr. Randall Mindy, make an astounding discovery of a comet orbiting within the solar system. Their problem is on a direct collision course with Earth. Their other problem, no one seems to really care. Turns out that warning mankind about a planet killer the size of Mount Everest is an inconvenient fact to navigate. With the help of Dr. Oglethorpe, Kate and Randall embark on a media tour that takes them from the office of indifferent President Orlean and her sycophantic son, Chief of Staff Jason, to the airwaves of the Daily Rip, an upbeat morning show co-hosted by Bree and Jack. With only 6 months until the comet makes impact, managing the 24-hour news cycle and gaining the attention of the social media-obsessed public before it's too late proves shockingly comical. What will it take up to get the world to just look up? Well, that's kind of the story. It's Don't Look Up. You've either seen it or you've read about it on Twitter. Fuck it. There we go. Ian, back to you.
Hello. So, Don't Look Up. Adam McKay is a filmmaker that, you know, I don't know, I think has provided a lot of joy to us in the past. But in the last few years has, you know, become more serious. I think it is fucking fascinating that he was a big hand in Succession. And no one fucking talks about him with Succession, because frankly it doesn't seem to fit a narrative that people have in their heads these days. But Mark, I like to think that we try and come at things from as neutral a viewpoint as we can. I say that as someone who ranted about Ghostbusters Afterlife, but you know, in my mind, I think I justified my burning white hate of that film, but maybe to others not. When it comes to Adam McKay, where are you with him now? So, Vice is a few years old, and it feels like that came out. That just came at a weird time of year where we talked about it, but didn't really talk about it much because it came out quite late in the awards season that year. And where were you with McKay before coming to this film?
I mean, obviously, I really enjoyed his comedic work that he did over the years. I do think, Step Brothers and the other guys are... Weirdly, I think they were underrated at the time. I know a lot of people have come to them as the years have gone on, but I think they were kind of underrated at a time when everyone was lauding what was going on with everything Judd Apatow did, and McKay was actually providing better comedy. I enjoyed The Big Short. I really quite like The Big Short. I thought it was a fascinating take on the way to attack quite a serious subject that had been tackled quite well with things like Margin Call, but they were quite dry movies. So it was a way to attack a subject that's quite dry in a more entertaining way, and also saying, look, if you don't understand this, don't worry about it, because the guys who say they do fucking don't either. That's why it went wrong. I thought Vice was good. However, I do think that there's an element of it got a little bit too caught up in you've got somebody who can pepper things with comedy, like Adam McKay can do. If you then have the over-the-top makeup that Vice had, and the over-the-top performances, it kind of comes across a little bit real-life satire. So to take on Don't Look Up, I was looking forward to it. However, the need to have every single character be a recognisable star
was distracting, wasn't it?
Feels a little bit like... Right. You, what you're doing is every scene that happens, you're waiting to see who's going to fucking turn up, rather than watching the fucking movie. And so that is a little bit... If this had, let's say, DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, and then one or two of the other ones, fair enough. But the fact that every character has to be a notable star just felt a little bit too much. But I was interested going into it just to see what the fuck it was about, to be honest. And the fact that it is set up a lot more like a satirical black comedy.
Yeah. And Bex, what were you expecting what this film was, and kind of like what the kind of the end result is?
I think it's a weird one, because I think it's probably suffered from delays, and its main kind of thing that it was probably going to be trying to satirise was going to be climate change. But it feels... because of what's going on with the pandemic and the people that deny the existence of it and won't get vaccinated and stuff like that, it also works as being kind of
feeds
about
into that as well, yeah.
But it takes it from being thought-provoking to just kind of depressing window onto the world. And it kind of... You can't really satirise something that's already... It feels like we're living in a fucking satire as it is.
There is an element of that where if somebody turned around and said, yeah, but that isn't exactly what would happen, you could kind of go, put the fucking news on.
Yeah. Yeah, so I like I said, I think it was delayed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was by a year, I think.
So I think that's maybe muddied reaction a little bit because it doesn't feel so much. Big Short felt like it was telling you about something that a lot of people they knew vaguely what had happened, but they didn't understand how and all the inner workings and all that kind of stuff. This feels like a telling off more, and people don't like to be told off.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, that's such an interesting point. I mean, it is a film that just feels like it's going. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Right. No, seriously, do you see what I'm saying? Throughout the whole thing. But do you know what? Another film that came out a few years back, which I think had exactly that tone. Black Klansman.
Yeah. It's I think we've used the phrase a few times. It's the sledgehammer to a walnut.
Yeah. Don't Look Up is sledgehammer to a walnut cinema. It is. I'm not going to call it one of the best films of the year or anything like that. It's not going to be anywhere near my top 10. I think that it is much too long. Again, I think it, like we were talking about with The King's Man earlier on, I think it is Adam McKay going, Netflix, give me money and leave me alone. You will have these stars and it will be this amount of money that you're giving me, leave me alone. And I think there's definitely faults to that. But unlike with Vice felt like I'm going to tell a story from the past which is related to the present, but I'm going to do it in a very, very smug, look at how smart I am kind of way. I think there are aspects of Don't Look Up that do speak to that. Like there's something that happens early on where it's like, no, this is actually a real thing. Here's their logo, and then they never do that again.
Yeah,
and that was the kind of thing that, like, in my mind's eye, Vice was full of shit like that.
It was, yeah,
where it was like, and I think this makes a wise choice to actually go, well, it's not based on real life, so we can actually get into the characters a little bit, as well as telling this story. But do you know what? It feels like a lot. It's interesting. With Black Klansman, people weren't going, we already know. Like, it was, and I think it's because it felt like at the time there was enough going on with, as Spike Lee calls him, Agent Orange, that it was like, okay, this is a story that needs to be told. Like, and people need to know about it. Climate change is this whole other thing where it's like, people do know, but people, and I am going to say as well, with the left and the people saying, we know, maybe not doing everything that we could, that is probably necessary to actually stop these things, because, unlike with Black Klansman, treating your fellow like a different coloured person better and with dignity is an easy thing to do, which does not rely on us making sacrifices. Climate change, to actually properly fucking combat climate change, you will have to make some fucking lifestyle choices. And this is the thing. It's like, people are being reminded of this stuff, but also fighting back against it because, the things that we have to do are so hard. And it's... There's a spiteful aspect to how people are going against Don't Look Up in certain ways that make me feel like, yes, people are saying, why are you telling me this? I already know. But it's because they also don't want to consider the things that they need to do in order to actually help it. And maybe that's me. Maybe that's me reading into things a bit too far. But I think it's interesting that with Black Klansman and Don't Look Up, I think they are doing similarly. Fucking look at this things. But the reaction seems to be wildly different. Like Black Klansman, nobody seems to be coming out saying they fucking hate Black Klansman, or at least among like the cross section of people saying they hate Don't Look Up. I think that's kind of interesting. I think that Adam McKay, I'll stop monologuing in a second, has made a film which isn't for the people going, oh God, we know. You know, it is an A-list film basically designed to catch people and go, look at these people you know. Here's some shit to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it achieves that job. I think it achieves that.
It truly speaks against this thing of people who are film fans, you know, and we are a part of that. A lot of them need to realise that you are not the only film fans. Film doesn't exist for film fans. It exists for everybody. And it exists for people who enjoy films rather than people who really enjoy it, who it is a big deal for them.
Yeah.
And so those people might just need a little bit of a nudge.
Yeah.
Or might go, actually that was quite interesting because of this and this. And that's fine. You know, like,
and sorry, just to be clear, I'm not saying that what we were saying earlier on, the message of the movie is good, therefore you should like the film. I'm saying that I think there are people who are like, yeah, it was all right, or I didn't get on with it because blah blah blah. But the people who are really vociferously coming out and saying, I fucking hated this film, how dare Adam McKay and co-writer tell me what to think. No, they've not helped themselves in their reaction to that. But at the same time, there's a part of me is like, they didn't start it in this case. It's the people who have been really fucking neggy about it have triggered them.
Yeah.
And I think that those people, I don't see how you can say, I've seen Don't Look Up in a lot of worst film of the year lists. I don't see how that's the fucking case.
No, it's like you said, Bex, there earlier. People don't like being told off. Or people don't like being told, you're stupid.
Well, yeah.
And that's what it is. And people's egos get bruised by it.
They do.
And that's the problem there. In terms of for the actual the film of itself, what do people think? More like the film making rather than the message.
I thought
overlong, indulgent, entertaining. I'm gonna leave it there for now. Go on back. Sorry.
It is overlong. I agree with you there. Cast wise, I think most of them were pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think there's a bad performance in it. There's a couple of characters that I think are a little bit of a miss
Misjudged.
for me.
Which ones?
I think I don't get why they've done Jennifer Lawrence's character like they've done her.
No.
I don't get that.
In what way?
In the way that what they're trying to do is they're trying to make her cool young astronomer rather than the
Stuffy,
more nerdy, not stuffy, but more nerdy older astronomer that DiCaprio is.
Yeah.
There, which is fine.
Before he gets his glow up makeup.
Yeah, which is fine, and I get that idea, but then, and this might be a mark tick that I have, and I do have this. The fact that she when they work it out, when what's it name works it out and says to her, and her first reaction there is to go, I just gotta get high. Fine. But then to repeatedly 3 or 4 times again bash us on the head with it. Look at her getting high. Look at her getting high.
Look, she's calling young.
Look at her with a weed there. It's a bit like, right, we get it, but then that feeds into her just being the screaming fucking
yeah.
cat lady.
I don't know. I thought of her as she doesn't really have a place in what society is now. Like, the only reason why DiCaprio does is because he's the astronomer I'd like to fuck.
Well, and because he's
and
composed, relatively sensible, and communicates
yeah.
himself better.
Yeah, he becomes that. He takes that on, whereas she's then seen as this.
It's basically, you can be okay in society as long as you're media trained.
That's it.
Is what it seems to be. Is what it seems to be saying. Very cynical, like, point of view there, but I think that's what they're doing with Lawrence's character.
That's it. I think it. I think that I absolutely agree. That's what they're doing. I just think that they could have done a little bit more with that character, and then she ends up becoming a little bit two-dimensional.
Yes,
towards the end of it, and I don't think, some people might say, I think it was a little bit underwritten for Lawrence. I don't think that. I think Lawrence has a bit of a whiff that she's just kind of fucking turning up on this one.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there.
Somebody who's definitely not just fucking turning up is Cate Blanchett.
Cate Blanchett's really good in it. I really liked her character.
I thought she was fantastic in it.
She was a bitch.
Hell yeah.
I thought she was fantastic. The scene where, again, the great thing about this movie is nobody, really, with the exception of a couple of characters, they're all fallible. Everybody has a flaw. DiCaprio's character is trying to do all the right thing, but he has a flaw in the fact that he gets a little bit caught up in it all.
Well, and he cheated on his wife with Cate Blanchett.
And so he ends up cheating on his wife with Cate Blanchett. But then her reaction to them finding out of going, can we just skip to the bit where you leave now? was perfect.
Yeah, that shit's brutal.
Was fantastic. It made sense. Ron Perlman fucking shooting at an asteroid from his garden. Having said that he was doing it for the gays.
Yeah.
Was very fun.
Jonah Hill.
What?
Thoughts?
I kind of... The thing is, I think about it now, and it's like, Jonah Hill probably hasn't done that character a lot, but it feels like he's done that character 50 times.
Yeah. The problem is, you get the feeling that from the fact that Jonah Hill, without question, grew up with the guy that he's playing. Because he grew up around this society, and he grew up from a very wealthy background. And so he knows the guys that he's playing. And he knows that that there was a danger that he could have essentially become that guy.
But he's just Jonah Hilling it.
Yeah, he is very much Jonah Hilling it. But it kind of works. It's kind of fun. The thing is, there's an element of truth to him essentially his thank and his thoughts and prayers been to things because things are cool.
To stuff. Yeah,
stuff.
that was...
You kind of look at it going, oh my, there's an oh my god, what a prick thing. But then there's also a bit of a, oh my god,
yeah.
At least he's been honest.
He's right.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's it. It's like, you love your friends and family and things like that, but life would be shitter if I didn't have my Apple Watch.
Yeah, there's an element to that. And I like the fact that he is just outright superficial. There's two bits of Jennifer Lawrence's thing that by the way, I didn't think Jennifer was bad in this. I just thought her character, I just didn't give a shit. But there's two things about her character that I really quite enjoyed. The Jonah Hill with the I told him I put a bag on your head. They don't do that. That's the CIA, but I told her to do it. And she's like, yeah, I kind of thought it might have been you. Their little patters were quite good. And her constant, I don't get it. He's a really high-ranking general. Why would he charge us for the snacks? Was a great running joke, and she handled it beautifully throughout.
One really little niggly thing, just before we move on from, it just reminded me when we were talking about Jonah Hill, that annoyed me.
What?
So you know when the world explodes?
Yeah.
And it's showing all the debris in space and stuff?
Yeah.
Her handbag is one of the things that's shown.
No, but yeah, the handbag he's got is his handbag. He has the same handbag as her.
No, I think he's just supposed to be holding her handbag.
No, yeah, he has the same handbag. He has it in a different scene where she's got the same one. It's just he's got a handbag.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Niggle solved.
Also, as well, it does have a fucking great end film. You've got the coda at the end and the bits like that. Yeah. But a great end line to the film. Where the DiCaprio manages to deliver it really fucking well. That does make you go, fuck, that was quite good, that.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You know, I did enjoy the setup and payoff of the Branticore.
Yeah.
So, what you should be saying, what happens? Well, apparently you get killed by a Branticore. What's that? We don't know yet. We'll find out. And then it happens, and it's like, that is a Branticore.
He was really good.
Rylance.
Yeah. It's like, he was obviously supposed to be a mix of, like, Jobs, Elon Musk to an extent.
There's been a little bit of, this is a bit ableist, and I kind of slightly get that.
I get it. I get it, but there's also oh, fuck off to that as well.
You can't have are there any like genuinely autistic actors? Like I'm gonna say it. Like are there?
Yeah, there probably is.
If there are, it would be great if they got the chance in this film, but it doesn't feel like the opportunity. It doesn't feel like there was anyone who would have been suitable for this role in this film who would have been able to tick that box.
It brings me back to the...
Is that a good thing? No. It's not, but it is where we are. And I didn't find Rylance offensive.
The thing is, it brings back to the thing of actors play parts if you have to have somebody who is already that thing to play that part. That's not why acting exists. You're fucking around too much with things. You need to stop. You know, if you want to have transgender actors, you can't then say, all right, we want transgender actors, which, you know, I'm not saying I'm against, absolutely for it, but then you're almost saying to them, but they have to be able to play transgender parts. Well, no, they could just play parts of whichever.
Yeah.
It's people need to climb down off this fucking rock that they're on and pointing and shouting at everybody but from it.
It's a don't hate the player, hate the game kind of scenario. It's like if the system's not built in the way that promotes people being able to get the level of career that Mark Rylance has to be able to play those parts authentically, that's not Mark Rylance's fault. And just to circle back, I thought Mark Rylance was really good as well. You know, like there are some decisions that are being taken with that part, but I thought they were fine. He doesn't have media training, but he's rich enough and a genius enough. And that whole part where like Rylance is like saying you're going to die and you're going to be alone, and then Meryl Streep's just like, You are so lucky. He loves you.
Yeah, you're so lucky he likes you. The good thing there is the what is it thing there is the fact that he states that it's a 99.4% possibility, and they've worked it out, and it ends up not being fucking true. But Meryl Streep's character does get killed by the Bronchosaur. Brontorax, sorry. There was amusing.
Branticore.
Yeah. Was I thought was very amusing.
It was going to be a thanks, I hate it until she died. I said to you, didn't I, when we watched it? If the bad guys had gotten away with...
Oh, you knew something was going to happen with that ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely knew something was going to happen with that ship that was there. I enjoyed it. It's too long.
It is too long.
It's a little bit too scattered. And I don't think it's unfocused. I just think it's intentionally scattered. It won't be anywhere near my top 10 of the year. But if people have got it as in their bottom 10 of the year, it's a little bit like, did that just push your buttons?
Yeah.
I think it feels performative. But I don't know. I don't want to assume people just to fit my fucking viewpoint or anything. You know, the reaction to the film just feels very, very over the top, and I think I don't know. I think people just need to. Again, if it feels like the anti-Selma to me, you know, people were falling over themselves to fucking throw plaudits at that film, and you know, it was telling a message, and it was telling it in a way that people liked, and it's like, Don't Look Up is telling a message, and it's sledgehammer to a walnut, but a lot of these fucking films are, and what what makes this different?
Also as well,
it's odd.
Also as well, people have been telling you softly about climate change for 30 years. It's about time someone started using a fucking sledgehammer.
Well, and that, yeah. I don't know. Adam McKay's not going out there saying everybody needs to be fucking vegan and everybody needs to really think hard about exactly what they're doing in their lives every single day. It's not Joaquin Phoenix directing Don't Look Up. It's the guy who directed Anchorman.
The thing is, in terms of for the climate change thing, very briefly, I will say my views on it very briefly. Everybody should be doing the little bits or the medium bits that they can. Even if it just slightly impacts their lives. Everyone should be doing that. Whether the fact is that climate change will not reverse and these things will not have an impact unless corporations and businesses actually actively start doing things. At the moment, the finger pointing and the you need to act and the we need to act, you need to act by doing this, you need to act by buying this, by doing this or subscribing to this, and you need to act by engaging in these things. That's fine. But it is not going to fucking create even a fucking dent until massive corporations start looking at the way that they do it. Because the amount of companies out there that will go, we run a paperless office. You can go, that's bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
My work doesn't come up here very often, but if we're going down that track, just very quickly, if you're thinking about making investments or where your pension funds are invested, have a look at ESG funds, environmental social governance funds. That the focus of those funds is to invest in companies that are actually trying to do something for the betterment of society and the planet in general. No, you may not make as much money And we have had complaints from people saying, why are you promoting ESG funds instead of the funds that are going to make me more money? Those are complaints I have seen. But if everybody were to start if pensions were suddenly invested predominantly in ESG funds, that's the kind of thing that will actually enact change. Because like fucking fund managers will see, all right, that's what people want to invest in, and then those funds have the fucking money to actually spend on those things. So, over the course of 40 years, you may get a return on your investment plus 15% instead of 25%, but hey, you've made that bit. You made that bit of difference for the planet for your grandkids and things like that. There are things that can be done. Or I suppose what I'm trying to say is, yes, corporations need that, but there are things like that you can do, which will also influence corporate steering.
The company I used to work for, Luke Roper, in 2019, I believe, were approached in November by the Rainforest Alliance. I can say it's now because I don't work for the company anymore. And they were approached by that to take it on as one of their sponsored charities. Said that we were doing what we could for saving the rainforest and for being more eco-friendly. The guy who dealt with the marketing and bits like that wrote out this big email saying we're going to go with this and all this lot, and it's going to be now on our labels and bits like that. The owner of the company, Simon, stopped it dead in its tracks and said, "No, absolutely not. We will do it next year. We cannot tell people that they need to be more fucking eco-friendly when we use single-use plastics. We don't reuse this." And basically said, we can't tell people to be more eco-friendly with the way that we are running our business. Now, we need to spend a fucking year getting ourselves so that we can then say to people need to start being more eco-friendly by getting our own fucking house in order. And to be fair, they did. Yeah. They installed a pellet system within the office, so that's why the heating and the warehouse was run on. All of the packaging, they cut down the packaging, I think, that was used in distribution and sales by 70%, and all of the packaging was then made out of 100% recycled materials. A lot of the clothes are now made out of 100% recycled materials that Luke Roper did. And all of the cardboard is reused, sent back. So they actually did it. They made the office 90% paperless. Didn't just call it paperless, actually physically made it 90% paperless. So that the next year, they could then go, yes, we can do this now. So that company there, it's not a big company, but actually looked at something, and rather than just saying they were going that people should do it, they looked at it in-house and said, no, we can't preach this because we're not practicing it. We need to fucking practice it. And I thought that was I had a conversation with Simon about that, the old company I worked for at the time, and said, I think it's fucking brilliant that you're actually going, no. Because most companies would have just gone, fuck it, yeah, put it on there because it look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There are things that can be done, and it feels like things are turning in that direction. And it's like with Don't Look Up, you can't hate the intent. If you've got, I don't know. I'm going with that moral equivalence, like with the quality of the film thing. It's. I don't know, if you're that annoyed by the film, it, as a lot of film Twitter seems to be.
Why did you watch it in the first place?
Yeah, or like, what is it about the film that's annoying you? Is it, is it the fact that you're being told some things that you kind of don't want to listen to, or are there actual film? is it just... It was like being lectured to for a couple of hours, you know, and in that case, I suppose fair enough, you know, but I thought it was more entertaining than that.
Yeah, I'm definitely not shit on it.
Yeah, same. God, it's a fucking marked improvement on Vice. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, definitely not shit from me as well.
Our audience poll. Definite shit, 35%. Touching cloth, 24%. Shit, 24%. And Geostorm, 17%. Yeah. So a mixed bagger. We do have some questions.
We do.
At Rick J. Kidd says, Merry Xmas and a good new year when it comes to you folks. Thanks for the year's entertainment. Well, you're very much welcome and thank you for saying thank you.
Cheers, Rick.
And thank you for the questions every week. It is very much, we do look forward to these.
Yeah, fucking MVP.
Yeah. What are you most looking forward to in 2022, film-wise or otherwise?
No more lockdowns would be great.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I kind of think that's going to happen, whether for good or bad.
Yeah,
to be honest,
I agree there. I do hope that it is the year where we kind of start to see the back of COVID.
The light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, it would be nice. It's taking its toll a little bit.
It feels like we're not going to see the back of COVID, but we are going to get to a place where it's just like we're just going to have to deal with it, but with mitigations in place. Like, as long as boosters are a thing that continue, I'm pretty comfortable with that personally. But I get that it's a subjective thing. Wes Anderson's Asteroid City. Sorry, I just went into the film thing there, and sorry, Mark.
No, I agree. Yeah, just saying. But what I will say is just get a fucking booster every 6 months. It's no fucking big deal.
Yep, straight
just
up.
do it. If that's it, if to combat this and to get back to anywhere near the normality we had in 2019 is that every fucking 6 months you've got to get a little jab in the arm and feel maybe a little bit shit for a few days. Sweet Christ, everyone just fucking do it.
I'm going to be very on brand and say that I'm really looking forward to Isabel going to university.
I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah. Just with the booster thing, the trick is with each shot, on each day, just make sure you get really drunk that day, as I have for all three of mine. That the next day, it's just like, well, if I'm going to feel like shit, I may as well be hungover.
To be fair, we went for a few pints after our boosters, didn't we?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, we did actually, yeah. Sorry,
works like a charm.
Film-wise, Wes Anderson.
Yeah, Asteroid City, I'm fucking pumped for that. Really looking forward to that. Do you know what? Fuck it, right? Every day's Christmas Eve and all that. Avatar 2. Go on then. Fuck it. Oh, IMAX 3D Avatar 2. Take me to another world, Jimmy Cameron, you mad bastard.
My prediction, Avatar 2 will not come out in 2022.
You're really looking forward to Moonfall.
Yeah, I mean, it could well be.
I am so much looking forward to fucking Moonfall.
I mean, Moonfall's like February.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? It's like January, the new Scream. I'm really looking forward to
the new
that.
Del Toro.
February, Moonfall. March, Operation Fortune Road de Guerre, which is out. March, looking forward to seeing Churches live. Only been listening to that band for fucking years and have never seen them live. We're all going to see Churches, and that fucking weekend, that film is out.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. Like, so if Manchester is going to be, we get there, we go watch Operation Fortune, get pissed and go watch Churches. That's a fucking night.
That's a good fucking day, that, yeah. I'm looking forward to, just general life. Let's see what it fucking brings. I'm always quite an optimistic person. Film-wise, I think we've got, next year, a new Fincher.
Yep, The Assassin.
A new Del Toro. A new Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a few others in there.
Do you know what I'm really oddly looking forward to?
What?
The Black Phone.
Oh, the Derrickson film. Yeah.
Ethan Hawke, innit?
I'm going to America for a couple of weeks. COVID pending. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, yeah, we're actually going to go abroad next year, aren't we?
COVID pending.
Fuck off.
Yeah, we're going to go abroad next year because we've not been abroad for...
I don't think you've been abroad since I've known
I don't think we've been abroad for like 14 years. And there's for no reason, is it?
It's just logistically, like with kids, it's
Yeah.
hard. I wouldn't want to go on holiday and have to share a room with my fucking kid.
No, that's weird.
So, okay, I've got to think of how many fucking countries I've been to with locks. Right. Morocco.
I'd like to go to Morocco, not with Isabel though.
Holland. Germany. Spain. Italy. I swear there's another.
The thing is, we actually, people who like the idea of travelling, just haven't travelled yet, have we?
But Morocco, right, that place is crazy. You fucking haggle with everyone.
You'd fucking love that, wouldn't you, Bex? When we were in Turkey, you loved that, didn't you?
I don't know if I've got the energy.
I
for
was
anymore.
terrible at it.
Yeah, you were bad.
They literally go. It's 10,000 lira, and I'd go, all right, and they go, and you'd be like, no, dickhead. Haggle, and be like, well, I'll just pay that, sorry. You'd be like, 3,000 lira. Like,
Chin Stroker Mike, I'm very glad your first shit in the new house was abused.
yeah, so that's what I'm looking for.
What a fucking WhatsApp message to have. Sorry.
That's a fucking. There's a lot of Mike Ball chat on our WhatsApp. Andrew Jones, what modern day IP would you want to see deal with the turmoil of WW1?
The thing is, right, Andrew's ruined this for me because his follow-up tweet talking about the kitchens of Nancy Meyer's films in World War I scenarios has completely mentally blocked me from thinking of anything else.
I have one answer for this.
Go on.
I have an answer for this. I thought about this. Right? So, what it is, you know the weird time clock thing in Deadpool 2? That can say, what is it? Right? Cable and Wolverine get drunk with the time clock, right? Mm-hmm. And just keep sending Deadpool back to the front line of World War One, and he has to keep on Groundhog Day just fucking running over the fucking front line because they're drunk and they just keep on pinging him back to it constantly. And it's just that for a 90-minute movie.
What about Mr. Bean going over the trenches and then just somehow not dying but killing a bunch of motherfuckers?
I'd be all about that apart from the one thing.
You hate Mr. Bean.
I
Rowan
fucking hate Mr. Bean. I just want him to get killed.
Yeah, that would be difficult.
Really violently.
Like Conrad?
No, like really violently.
Really violently.
Yeah. What?
No?
What's yours, Bex?
I don't really understand the question.
What IP? What property?
Oh, intellectual property.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Stand By Me boys are transported to the front
I
line.
reckon they'd get on with it alright. I reckon they'd make the best of it. Like a general will be like walking down like the fucking in the trench, and they just open a thing and look in, and then they've made like some little clubhouse and they're over there playing cards, just looking at it, going, "Not going out there. It looks fucking nasty out there. No way."
What about Akira? And he just goes and fucks it all up.
Akira, fucking hell.
Oh, that would be the way.
Yeah.
That would be the way.
Wow.
Canada!
That's a good one, that one.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah. That was all the questions we got. What are we covering next week, Ian?
So, we have got Paul Thomas Anderson's Licorice Pizza. We're begrudgingly going to cinemas that we don't have unlimited passes to.
Yep. We're throwing some sick coin at that movie, aren't we?
Yeah, we've got all the way to fucking
right
York,
we are.
haven't we?
Yeah, we've got to travel.
Our nearest cinema is York.
Our nearest cinema is an hour away.
Brutal. Yeah, I mean, I've got like a solid half-hour drive, and it's the everyman, so the fucking screen will be the size of a postage stamp. So, really looking forward to that.
I think we're all right. I think it's Screen 1 it's playing at City Screen.
I fucking hate the City Screen as well.
I don't.
It's a pretentious pile of bullshit.
I like it. It's still a good cinema.
What else?
So The Lost Daughter is on Netflix from tomorrow.
Probably won't be watching it tomorrow.
No.
No.
What we
do with New Year's
We'll be
Eve?
ringing my New Year's Eve in with that.
Oh, we'll be pissed in fancy
Yeah,
dress.
we'll talk about it next week.
Yes, we will be in fancy dress at the pub.
Nice. And I think that'll probably be it for main reviews. I mean, January is going to be kind of a lot of catch up and whatnot, but we got the 355 the week after next. We got Scream the week after that, and I think we got Nightmare Alley the week after that. So it keeps coming. It keeps coming.
Yep, Belfast as well, isn't it? As well.
Yeah, Belfast is up in there at some point, isn't it? Yeah, quite right.
23rd, I think it's the same weekend as Nightmare Alley.
Cool.
That's
okay.
a double bill.
Yeah, bloody hell. Yeah, that's a good double bill, that. So, that'll do. This show's going to be over 3.5 hours long. Jesus Christ, thank God we're not recording a Michael Mann tonight.
Yeah, we chose wisely to leave that to next week.
Yeah, we did. Oh my God. Right, thank you very much for listening, folks. We are podsyndicate.com. There are other podcasts there. The Iron Sequel. James is back with a new series of podcasts in the new year. I am definitely guesting. And I'm looking forward to talking about the film that I'm talking about. Also, Chinstroker versus Punter. Mike. Just seriously, massive congrats on the shit.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why I'm saying no. Noel doesn't have a podcast at the moment.
Hi, though.
I know. Noel has New Dot Martins.
Yeah, he did get some New Dot Martins. Jordan and Lauren are coming back with his film, Her Movie, in the new year. And, just a massive congrats to that. The Rewatch Project is still around. Mike did a fantastic shit, which I'm sure Hannah is very, very grateful for. And I'm looking forward to them talking about it on the next show. Round of applause for them talking about it on the next show.
Cat looks well confused.
Entertainment Landfill, which I think Mike will be calling his toilet. Well done, guys. Yeah, brilliant. Just all together, well done. I think that's going to do it. Thank you so much, Becky.
Thanks, Ian. It's been emotional.
Thank you so much, Mark.
You're welcome.
Folks, Happy New Year. Aww. Happy New Year. Da, da, da.
Bye.
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 One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small. And the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.